Welcome back, everybody, to the Horror Returns. I'm Lance, and with me, as always, are my co-hosts Brian and Philip. And tonight's that very special once-a-year event, March Madness. And joining us tonight, we have our annual panel of special guests. First up, first time on the show, Derek Rosenberg, co-host of the Third Channel podcast. Derek and PJ bring you all the great horror franchises you know and love from the perspective of a lifelong horror hound and a guy a little newer to the genre. Derek, thanks for joining, dude. What do you guys have coming up this month? What do you want to say about the show?
Hey, thanks, Lance, for having me. I mean, this month we just kind of finished up our discussions on Candyman, that whole franchise. We are right in the middle of our Leprechaun franchise chats, and then
Of
coming up
course.
after that would be Hellraiser. Um, and we're gonna do all of those. So it'll take us several months to kind of get through it because we go one by one typically to kind of get through the whole thing. But yeah, no, thank you for having me, Lance. Whenever you reached out about this particular genre, I was like, yeah, actually, I do kind of dig the found footage films a lot. And then whenever I got to listing them off, I'm like, geez, I have seen probably too many of these for how not great a lot of them end up being. Um, but yeah, and then I've basically just spent the last 2 weeks of my life watching and rewatching found footage movies and listening to your podcast and uh, past March Madnesses, just so I can kind of get an idea of how this was going to go. So thank you.
Nice. All right. Appreciate
Yeah,
it,
there's
man.
there's not a lot of research required. We're kind of flying by the seat of our pants.
We're winging it. We're winging it. We're winging it, Jack. And speaking of Jack, another guest that's been on the show with us before. And I think really the only active filmmaker in our group since Steve's not here, but we got Jack Hunter from Ghostface Studio Productions. Jack, I know you know all about found footage. What do you guys have going on with the
Well,
studios these days?
I can't stand found footage. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know. No. We have well recently we had two films released to Found TV. Called Elevate. It stars me and my children. And I remember. Well, I
That
heard
sounds like
earlier.
fun.
Yeah, it's very different, and I know there's not a lot of fans of Skinamarink. But I was kind of inspired by Skinamarink, but not at the same time, if that makes any sense. Because I that's a one-time watch movie for me. I think probably for anyone. But I do admire the filmmakers behind it. But we also released Paranoia Tapes, the movie on Found TV, which is currently in the franchise of Paranoia Tapes. And it's the longest running found footage anthology franchise in cinema history right now in found footage. Yeah, and it's the 12th one. And don't worry, if you haven't seen the previous 11, it's okay. We'll spare you in the opening, like the first 5 to 10 minutes of the movie. It brings you up to speed to where it is now. But the cut you see on Found TV is kind of it's actually the 13th cut of the film, and I'm still not happy with it. So I have an international cut if anyone's interested in watching that, and just let me know. And Derek, why haven't I been on your podcast, and why haven't you discussed Paranoia Tapes as a franchise? Just curious.
I'm sure
It'll
we'll
take a
get
few
there
months.
eventually.
All right, 2030 it is.
All right. All right. So we've also got our super patron, Nerelden Maslow, and this was actually his idea, everybody, the found footage thing. So what's up with you, man?
Nothing much, man. Looking forward to joining y'all for this fine tournament. Yeah, this was my idea. I kind of shot in the dark, like, hey, how do y'all feel about like a found footage tournament for March Madness? And here we are, right? So, as a Patreon patron, I'm very honored to have been selected for this year's March Madness. Um, I would say found footage is like my favorite genre. Surprisingly, like I don't really watch that many horror films recently. I'm a dad of two, so I got to split
Hey, I feel you,
responsibilities,
bro.
right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
I got you.
Uh,
I don't know. Yeah.
but checking out this list, I'm like, dude, I've seen a lot of these, right? Um, And I remember when I was in my horror film watching days before the kids, I would watch a lot of found footage films, and the thing about them is that 95% of them garbage. So we hopefully we got some good ones that folks can check out when they get a chance. And I'm curious to see who the winner is going to be this year.
Nice, nice. And everybody know him and you love him. It's our man Pedro. What's up, dude?
What's up, man? Just another tournament. Here we go. Can't believe it's been a year ago that we crowned Freddy Krueger the greatest horror icon of all time. Now here we are a year later trying to crown the best found footage film, And we've had a lot of other tournaments for people that want to check out the archives. We've done the best worst movie of all time. I think I'm not going to spoil it in case people haven't. And then we've done the best kill of all time. So we've run the gamut, best B movie of all time. But here we are with this one. And Norelda was talking a little bit about the the curse, right, of being into like found footage films where like 95% of them suck and they suck bad. However, I think this is one of the only genres where when you find a good one, man,
Yeah.
like it's worth it's such a sweet spot, and that's to me the joy of like being invested in this genre because yeah, you're gonna go through a lot of shit, but the good ones really stand out and they're very original. For budgetary reasons, there has to be a lot of originality from the filmmakers, and yeah, so that's why I love really being engaged with this genre because it's when you find a good one and you never forget it. And this list has a lot of them. There's a few that are not in here because of time constraints and space, but for the most part, we were able to get a lot of the quote unquote classic ones in here. And yeah, we'll see who takes it.
All right. And rounding out our panel, we've got our very own Brian. Brian, are you excited about this one, man?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on as a guest.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wait, Brian, I know you.
Do you?
Brian Stitcher. Yeah, you sound very familiar. Your name is very familiar.
Well,
I know
have
you
you
from?
have, have you been on the Horror Returns before?
You know what? Lance says I have been, so apparently I have, and he doesn't remember either.
It's been a long time.
It has
Awkward
definitely been a
silence.
minute.
Yeah, I know. Awkward
right.
silence. Totally. Like, did he block me?
All right. Let's get to it. All right. So here's how this thing works. We're going to start out with 32 contestants for greatest found footage film of all time. These were picked by you guys and randomly distributed into a field of 32 bracket, which I'm going to have to turn to see as we were talking about earlier. But so we've got 5 guests. Everybody gets to make their best argument and vote on each round, and we'll see who moves on. So I think that we're going to start with the left side of the bracket. Phil's going to get things rolling here. He's actually made a few changes to the bracket to make sure we actually have 32, unlike the original one I
one
put
little
together.
change, but I'll keep it straight. It's we actually
All right.
have 33, so we have a play-in game.
33. All right, we can live with that.
Our first game is going to be against let's see, Lake Mungo and the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Ooh.
Mm. All right, Derek, you want to start us out?
Oh my God. Of all the matchups to immediately have, these are two of my like absolute favorites.
I knew that was going to
Um,
happen somewhere along the way too.
It's these are definitely two that I put up, and I watched them around the same time, if I'm not mistaken. And they're similar in the way that they are both presented as, faux documentaries. And little bits of the mystery and the information get doled out over the whole films. And they're so different. Because the Poughkeepsie tapes is one of those where like I had read a bunch about it and I had seen like stills and gifs and things online. And it kind of like I think it did the and Brian probably knows with his knowledge of everything, it seems that it probably did like a bunch of rounds of horror cons and film festivals and things before it kind of like got a release. But I feel like I had to really search that one out. But it is like grimy and dirty, and you feel wrong watching it. Like, and honestly, one of the most disturbing movies I've ever seen, because it plays into uh, uh, home invasion, people being in your house and you not knowing it, as well as torture and everything else that goes on in that movie. Um, there's just some really chilling stuff there. But then, like Mungo is another one where I think it was part of that. Was like 8 films to watch in the dark fest,
Yeah.
whatever that film festival was that I never saw. I never got to go to any of those midnight screenings, unfortunately, but this one pops up on a bunch of lists online for years, and so I finally found it. And again, another documentary style, but it's very much it's a lot slower. It's a very slow build. The way that things are revealed, and like about halfway through, you think you've figured it out. It's a ghost story, and it's like, oh, we've kind of solved it, and then it takes like a darker turn, and I don't know. By the end of it, I am just like I rewatched it earlier today just to kind of get it fresh in my brain, and it's like still by the end of it, like I am like tears welling up in my eyes. Just it really hit me emotionally. Um, oh man, I hate that these two are up against each other because they are.
You want to
so-
be the best, you got to beat the best.
Yeah, it really comes down to what do I think is the better. I mean, it's which is a scarier film versus which hit me emotionally. And Lake Mungo definitely won't work for everyone. It's light on the horror. It is a slow moving ghost story, but I'm gonna plant my flag and say Lake Mungo
Okay.
as the
Like
first
Mungo.
person to put it out there. I'm just gonna go ahead and say that.
Hello, can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, first of all, I agree with everything you said. There are good points. But with me, I feel like the Poughkeepsie Tapes, that's the kind of film that an impressionable me when I was a teenager would really, really love. Like it's one of those films that just stays with you. And you're right, for a long time, it didn't have any distribution. It took years. And that's how it built its rep, because it was this kind of uncensored film that people had to track down. Now and it's not, trash. It's very cinematic. There's a couple of shots there that stay with you. For example, there's the part where like the killer comes out of he's in the basement and he kind of comes out kind of like a spider almost. That's a very unsettling shot. And so it's very well made. But there's not a lot of plot to it, if any. It's just really, sorry about that. I'm right here by the window. It's just really just a guy going around killing people, essentially. Whereas, like you said, Lake Mungo has more of a story, and is more of a narrative than the Poughkeepsie Tapes. So the question becomes, where am I now in life? As somebody in his 40s, to where I was then, and now I'm like, I don't like mean movies anymore. Like I just don't, because I've grown up, and it's like I don't have time for like movies that are just made just to be mean, and that's what the Poughkeepsie Tapes is, to me, anyways. And there's no comeuppance, there's no lesson at the end. It's just literally a mean film. So I'm gonna go with Lake Mungo, because Lake Mungo also has a lot of rewatchability. A lot of people always go back because I'm not gonna spoil it. Maybe you guys could if you want, so I'm not gonna spoil it. But the Lake Mungo really rests on kind of its final shot, or a couple of the final shots in the movie, and that's what everybody remembers and talks about. And so the fun of that is to rewatch it and connect those dots, right? Because you see it the first time, oh my God, there it is, and then you rewatch it, there it is again. So to me, that's kind of the entertainment that I'm into nowadays. So I'm also gonna go with Lake Mungo.
All right. Jack, what do you think?
Man, you guys both have made very, very good points. I remember the time when we first heard about Poughkeepsie Tapes. The only way you could get it was Pirate Bay. Like there was no other way. There was no release. The one thing I loved about the Poughkeepsie Tapes, it's just one scene where for the first time on film, we get to see the female version of the Don Post Michael Myers mask. And me being a Michael Myers fan as well, like if you see my videos on my channel, I have every single Michael Myers mask in my den, with the posters. I am obsessed. I actually own over 74 versions of Michael Myers mask currently. Um, but as Pedro said, it's a very mean film. There is nothing subtle about it. When you watch Poughkeepsie tapes, you are going to feel uneasy and you're going to feel dirty as if it's something you should not be watching. In the horror aspect, I'm not going to say it's a God, what's that franchise? The Oh God, come on guys. It's that one like Who Hurt You? Like you can't watch all three. I think it's a trilogy. Oh God. Yeah, it's bad. Like Project uh God, no. No, 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 no. It's I think it's a trilogy of films. They call it these three films. Not the Violent Gore trilogy. It's the other unsettling one. It's like how do you get through it pretty much. But Lake Mungo, oh my God. I remember watching this in 2020 for the first time, and I lived on my family's property in a trailer. Um, and all I can say is after watching that was the first time I actually slept with the lights on. Um, it really hits you, and as a parent too, like I have three. I'm a single dad of three. Um, as At the time it was two, but like I can't say enough praise about Lake Mungo. It's one of those films when you're watching it, like it's classified as horror, but you're watching it and you're like, why is this scary? Like what is the deal? Why is the poster so unnerving? Planet CHH, the YouTube channel, Christian Hanna, he just reviewed I think the Anchor Bay, I think it's Anchor Bay. Yes, August Underground. Yes, that one. Yeah, that's what I
Ah.
was referring to. Yeah, Derek, good job. Um, he came in. He came in hard. Okay, so I've never seen that. I'm not going to see that. I don't. Yeah, yeah,
Not
yeah,
on the list, huh?
yeah. No, fuck no.
But somebody put Cannibal fucking Holocaust on this list, and we're gonna
There's a
find out who that
couple of them
we're
that
gonna
are.
find out who that was.
yeah, we're gonna find out some
Anyways, I
bitches. Yeah.
digress.
Anyways, for the record, no, I won't spoil that. It wasn't me. I can promise you. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking way too much. Lake
No, that's
Mungo
totally cool.
for the win for me.
Mungo. All right,
Mungo.
Mungo. It is.
So we got a winner already, huh?
I suppose so. But Norelden, what do you think?
Um, I agree with everything that everyone has said. I think there was a great breakdown of both of those films. Thank you, Derek. And I also want to piggyback off of what Jack and Pedro said in terms of the Poughkeepsie tapes and Lake Mungo. Specifically, I want to start off with the Poughkeepsie tapes. That's a hard word for Latino to say sometimes. But that one is really nihilistic. You know, I want to piggyback off of what Pedro was saying. If I were to watch this movie when I was a teenager, hands down, that would have been my pick, right? It's so
Yeah.
edgy. It's
Facts.
kind of like the modern version of like Faces of Death,
Yeah.
Cannibal Holocaust, right? Those forbidden films that are super hard to find. I think that's the current contemporary version. I'm sure there's other versions that exist nowadays, but during my adolescence, that was the one. It was super hard to find, right? And you could, through word of mouth, it got a great reputation, right? Um, but Lake Mungo, I think that's just a better film, especially as a parent. I could totally resonate with grieving parents, right?
Oh God,
I
yeah,
can only
yeah.
imagine just the horror of going through that, right?
N- y-
Um, and
I-
and so that's my pick, right? Especially as a parent, it hits me more emotionally, and it's something that I have definitely um, don't even want to think about, right? I think it was something that really, when I first saw it, didn't hit me, but now that I've seen it a second time with kids, out of here. So Lake Mungo is my pick.
Okay. Brian, what do you think?
It's Lake Mungo. I think it's the better film. I've never been a fan of the
Sweet.
Poughkeepsie tapes. Um, I think Lake Mungo equally balances chills and emotion perfectly.
yeah, Yeah, I agree. And I forgot to say in my narration of it is it's a slow burn that has the most unsettling payoff at the final frame.
All right, fair enough. Okay, Lake Mungo takes the spot. Let's see. Well, let's roll right into it and we'll go Lake Mungo against the Bay.
Oh
Oh,
man.
we gotta go down the. Oh, you
Yeah.
that was the play in.
That was
Okay,
the
all right,
play in.
I'm
Son of
with
a
it now.
bitch. All right. Am I
Derek,
I think I picked the Bay. That's one of mine.
is it?
Yeah, it's
All
it's
right.
a
Well,
guilty.
Pedro, you want to start us out?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's this is another difficult choice. The Bay is just a fun movie. It's a movie that it's one of those movies that is happening in real time, as you know, and it's using a lot of like news footage, but it's also a very interesting tale of how like certain institutions like do cover-ups, because the whole movie eventually
Mm.
at the end you find out there's one big cover-up of what happened to this small town, and that's what's called the Bay. But it does have a lot of disturbing shots in the movie. There's a lot of good scenes in it. So I'm gonna go with the Bay. You know, that's because that's my pick, and I really enjoy it. And to me, if I'm gonna have something on in the background, I could see myself putting on the Bay before I put Lake Mungo on. So I'm gonna go for the fun aspect of it, entertainment at value. I'm gonna go with the Bay on this one.
All right. Does Lake Mungo get taken out early? Derek, what do you think?
Okay. The Bay is one that I watched um way back, and then I've rewatched it for this chat here. And yeah, it is a lot of fun, that movie. It's, you know, super low budget, so the effects are what they are, but I still some like it just makes your skin crawl, like what's happening. Uh I have that like what tryptophobia or whatever, where it's like things burrowing into skin and holes and things like that, like really
Oh,
trip me
oh
out. So
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh, that this one like plays into that some. Um, but this like whole thing is the story of this one almost feels like in a weird way like Jaws or Piranha 3D meets like the
Hmm.
Crazies meets like something like
Ooh.
Aaron
That's
Brockovich or
really, yeah,
like
good breakdown, Derek.
Dark
Yeah.
Water.
That was I never saw that coming.
And it's like, yeah, it's a weird little mix, but it's like I love the amount of different ways that we see footage, film, news footage, the amateur reporter, and I think all that's fun. the, I'm realizing this time with this rewatch, like the couple that come over on the boat with the little baby, the woman is from Cabin in the Woods. She's the lead in the Cabin in the
Oh,
Woods,
okay.
Oh,
and I'm like, wow, of all those things. But
Derek, I got a question.
yeah,
What about the pants? Her pants throughout
they
the
were
whole
too
film.
tight. They were too
They were,
tight.
excuse me? Excuse me?
Someone should have
Camel
told
toe.
her that they were too tight. That's a quote
Uh,
from the movie. That's just something she
yeah.
says.
someone should have told her
No,
that.
I like that. I work in the news industry, and so seeing like that sort of, and I went to college for it, so it's like seeing that kind of amateur news reporter thing was like it's fun. And then also kind of like we don't get all the answers by the end of it, but this is one of those you watch now, and I feel like the whole cover up of everything is takes on a whole different thing
Right.
with
Right.
in a post COVID world. Uh, so
Epstein.
that as well, that as well.
Sorry, I was my vape.
Yeah. Um, but oh man, Pedro makes a
It, it, it
good
was it
point.
was it was directed by Barry Levinson, I think. So it had some money behind it, and it was well
Yeah.
shot because obviously Barry
Mhm.
Levinson is kind of like a big time director. I just don't remember it getting a big release, which is weird
Yeah,
because in 2012 we were still seeing those kind of films get those theatricals. I saw it on I think I rented it on DVD back in 2012. So yeah, it's just, but it's a movie that stayed with me. Again, very fun movie. And again, it's all about where I am in my life now. When we talk about these films, and nowadays, I would prefer to watch that one over Lake Mungo, even though Lake Mungo is an amazing film.
Yeah, and that's a good argument because that is my thing is like I do prefer Lake Mungo as a film, but you're not wrong in saying like if you're going to put this on in the background, if you're going to put this on to show other people, The Bay is a more fun, digestible film.
Mhm.
Oh,
We'll
man.
call it family friendly, sort of.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this again going against Lake Mungo. Yeah.
I'm going to keep it interesting, and I'm going to go with Lake Mungo
Lake
for my
Mungo.
choice.
All right. We're all
All right,
tied up
1-1.
1-1. Jack, what do you think?
Okay, they are both in my picks. What the fuck? So this is rough. Like I'm looking at look at my list that I sent you, and I'm like, I downloaded The Bay, I think in 2012, and that's the only way you could get most of these films. Like Pedro said, you know, it was in a time where Paranormal Activity was like launching. You know, every year it was one. Then you had REC.
Halloween.
Yeah, and then Cloverfield came out a couple years previously. It really didn't catch, you know, at the time. Um, God damn, this is hard, guys, because I love The Bay. I love their pants. That's the main thing. Like she got, I don't know if that's sexist of me saying, but I'm a single guy. I can say that.
It's all fair game on this show. We've said worse. You're right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Cool. Okay. God, I love The Bay, and especially like Derek said, with the cover-ups and everything else like that. But oh God, see, like if you want to invite friends over, this is the way I gotta look at it. Would you like to sit down with them and wait an hour and a half till they see the good Lake Mungo, or would you love to see their reaction and get that jump reaction from that fish, you know, with that scene where it's just, you know, do you want to wait? You know, it's like it's a waiting game. God
Yes.
damn it.
It depends on the people.
Yeah, in the crowd, you're the people you're coming over. It's like I'm in Louisiana. We love fish. We love to fish. We love hunting and everything else. The Bay would freak them out. Like I could probably show my
Oh, yeah.
parents The Bay and they think it was real. Like that, like you
No
know.
doubt.
Fuck, man. I hate you guys. I'm going home. The Bay.
All right.
2 for The Bay, 1 for Lake Mungo. Derelden, where are we at?
Oh man, dude, we started off with some heavy hitters. Oh my God.
Right.
I follow that same sentiment that everyone was sharing, right? I think The Bay is a lot more fun, a lot more entertaining, right? You could plop it on in the background and folks will like, oh, hey, that's really enjoyable, right? The Lake Mungo, that is definitely a slow burn with a diamond of a reward, right? For that end scene. It's phenomenal, right? It's worth the whole slow burn and going through that whole process. But a lot of people don't have that patience and they don't have that time to be like, hey, I need something right now, right? So knowing your audience is really important in recommending these films. But I'm gonna have to go with The Bay. I think after watching it, it stuck in my mind. I went to the lake a couple days after the first time that I watched this, and I was like, bro, I am not getting in that
Don't
water.
get in there, man. Don't get in there.
Exactly. So, I'm gonna have to go with The Bay.
Well, Brian, I'm sure you're gonna have some...
you know, no, Robin, you remind me of a scene, and I haven't seen this movie in about 10 years, even though it's one of my favorites. But I forgot about
Same.
the suspense in the film as well,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
correct me if I'm wrong, but there is a scene where you as a viewer know what's happening, but there's some youngsters that are about to jump into the bay. They don't know what's happening, and they the way they tease it, the buildup of them actually jumping in, and it's like, damn, that's cinema right there, you know, because you know
That's
what's
build up.
happening.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, and yet they the characters don't know what's happening, and
Because
you kind of don't want them to jump in there because you know what's gonna happen, right? So
They want you
yeah,
yelling
see
at the
stuff like
screen.
that is just awesome. Good stuff.
I have a feeling,
bitch.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Eh,
I have a feeling all of us are going to probably rewatch The Bay if for those that didn't rewatch it. I think after
Right.
this, we're watching the Bay tonight. Like it's gonna like it's happening. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm talking too much.
Oh, you're fine. All right.
I
Well,
was next.
Brian, I'm sure you're going to make some important choices tonight, but this is not one of them. Which one do you pick?
Well, I thought we were here to pick the best found footage movie, not the most fun found footage movie. So
Oh,
my
shit.
my vote
All
would have
right,
been
all
Lake
right. Here we
There
go.
we
Mungo.
go.
All right, give it to us, Brian. Give it to us.
Good point.
Lake Mungo.
Okay.
All right.
I mean,
Well,
they're
it
both
doesn't matter
they're
what you
both
think.
fun. I mean, they're both fun. Just different
No,
types of
yeah,
fun.
right.
All
To
right.
me, Lake Mungo's also more niche, right? It's more niche. Like it's
Yeah.
made more for like the cinephile, somebody who understands film.
But
Somebody.
but
Well,
it's
that's
not
okay.
it's not oversaturated in every fucking found footage list though.
Right.
That's what
true.
I love about Lake Mungo. That I'll give it that.
Yeah.
Because you
All
you
right,
see the
so-
same top 6 and it's just like really come
Mhm.
Locked in. The Bay wins.
okay. Good
All
job.
right. On to the next one. We got Savage Land versus Megan is Missing. Savage Land is from 2015. Megan is Missing is 2011. Right. Derek, what you think?
Okay, so these were two that I whenever we finally made the list of movies that we're going to make this bracket, I had about 8 that I hadn't seen. And these were 2 of them.
So
they
you
will
had fun.
also be
That's nice.
yeah, they will also be 2 that I probably won't ever need to watch again. For different reasons, very different reasons. Man, Megan is Missing is one of those that like I've seen on a lot of lists. I've seen on it must be really cheap because it's on streaming services all the time somewhere. I know that poster so well. But oh my god, I did not enjoy this at all.
Yeah.
The girls are incredibly annoying, but I don't know how much of that is acting and just kind of being teenage girls. So it kind of it leads itself to the realism, I guess, of the whole situation. I'll say, and I'm sure everybody thinks the same thing, like the last like 20-25 minutes are absolutely like stomach turning. You need a shower after watching this. It's awful. And it's kind of on the Poughkeepsie side of things. It's a cruel, it's a mean sort of movie. And for me, it kind of we get to the end of it, and I have to ask, like, who is this movie made for? Because like, do we need to see these young girls in the kind of peril that they're in? Like, what are we supposed to get out of this? Because if it's showing the perils of chatting with people online, like the people who are going to need to get something out of this are not going to watch this movie in the first place. So like, yeah, I'll never watch this one again. The other film, Savage Land, funny enough, like Lance had reached out to me about this, and I made my list of like, okay, these are the ones that I've seen, and then I started looking up ones that I hadn't seen. And Savage Land was available on Tubi, which I'll throw a shout out to them because Tubi comes in clutch for this subgenre right here. So Savage Land is like also kind of a faux documentary sort of thing, and it's a slow burn, and like kind of light on the horror, but by the time we kind of get to the big reveals in these, because it's all like a series of photographs is what we end up getting. We don't really get a lot of like footage, if you will.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the photographs are pretty like they will stick with you. Like they're kind of haunting in what we're seeing and what the implications of them could be. And I like that we don't get like all the answers by the end of it. You're still kind of left with like just kind of the dread of like what's going on or what has, happened. my biggest complaint, I guess, with this one is that it was once we get to that point, it's very repetitive of just, and here is another photograph, and here are the things that are surrounding it, and then we move on to the next photograph and the next and the next. But that being said, I'm gonna go with Savage Land over Megan is Missing any day of the week.
Interesting. All right.
Okay,
All right.
I'll go. Mine's is short and sweet. I talked earlier about Poughkeepsie Tapes and how I hate mean movies. It doesn't get any more meaner than Megan is Missing.
That's
like
true.
Derek was saying, who was this made for? It seems like I don't know, somebody was just getting off on making this kind of film. Also, and it's the same thing happened with Poughkeepsie Tapes. There comes a point when these films are so mean and they're so one-sided that you kind of start rooting for the killer because the people are so dumb and they're
Yeah.
and they start making the dumbest mistakes, the stupidest things, that in the real world probably wouldn't happen that way. They happen that way so that they could have a story, obviously. So Megan is Missing, same thing. You know, the two little girls, so annoying. What are their parents? There's so many questions, right? I mean, they
Yeah.
fall for this guy like just hook, line, and sinker within like an hour of knowing this motherfucker. Like it's like he doesn't even really have to work hard. And again, the ending's just brutal. There's no comeuppance. There's no lessons here. It's just two girls just literally just they died and this guy killed them and he got away with it and it's fucked up. And it's a little too close to reality sometimes, you know. So with that's why I'm gonna go with it was Border Savage Land, right?
Savage Land. Yeah.
Savage Land, yeah. Now, Savage Land again, really, really good movie. And it's very low budget. That's why I think they use a lot of the photos instead of actually showing the action scenes. But I do like the build up, the tension, the suspense. Essentially, we're finding out this guy who's a photographer. He gets taken in and accused of murdering this entire town. And he's saying it wasn't me, it was these entities or whatever that came, which is kind of like the creepy part. And then he tries to show his photos as proof of that. And there's there's like a subtext of racism in the film a little bit. You know, there's like I remember that wacky sheriff that was playing it over the top.
Subtext.
Yeah, so I found that movie very interesting. I've seen it a couple times. I think the thing that sticks to me is just, and I think the reason why it comes off as repetitive is that he's going through all the town and explaining what happened to this particular people and that family, and he's showing it with the photographs, and that's where the repetitiveness comes in. It's like, okay, we saw that already, but now we're seeing it in another part of town, and yeah, so I don't know, I enjoyed it, so I'm gonna give Savage Land my vote.
Fair.
Who is next?
I'll go. If I can, if that's okay.
Go ahead.
All right. So, one of these was on my list, and the reason I put it on it because it was at the time the most exhausting fucking movie I had ever seen in my entire life. I watched it with my brother, his wife at the time, and my fiance at the time. And by the time we, yeah, I know, right? No connection. By the time we got to the end of it, we had to put on a superhero film or something. And I ended up making a pseudo sequel to this film called Blamed, that actually has a payoff. It's still a slow burn. It's not a plug, but you can check it out. Jack Carter's Blamed. Just Google it. You'll find it. I need money. So
Blame.
yeah.
Hey, Lance,
Gotcha.
take over for me for a minute. I gotta take care of something.
All right.
But yeah, it's called Blamed. It's very slow. But anyways, it's not about me, it's about these films. And that movie would be Megan is Missing. I may be the wrench in the wheel here, but as a parent, again, the most scared thing that can happen is what happened, in this film. It is a damn good found footage film. There's no score. There's barely any score. I think the only score is like the news segments. But the way it just fucking ends, like that is that fuck, and that's why I made Blamed, and I made it have a bunch of twists and turns and end with something, Um, because I wish Megan is Missing would have done that, but seriously, but that ending is so heartbreaking and gripping as a parent. And alive is what I'm saying. Like I'm getting to that point of it. That Megan is Missing is my vote.
Oh, Megan and Missing. All right. We got one.
Yeah.
All right. Brian, let's go with you next. So you're not the deciding vote this time.
I was entertained by Savage Land. Thanks,
Mhm.
Norelden, for introducing that to me. But I have to agree with Jack on the parental level. I think this movie should be shown to kids as a cautionary
Agreed.
tale on
Ooh,
what happens if you fuck around and find out on the internet. So my vote is Megan is Missing.
bro,
Mhm.
you have said it. You just nailed it.
Maybe
But
that's the lesson I've been looking for in this movie this entire time. I'm not a parent, so it didn't resonate with me in that way. But
just
now
watch
both
Glenn.
of you, both Brian and Jack, you both are making so much sense right now. Maybe that's the lesson.
It
It
feels
it
bad,
is.
but it sticks with you.
Oh God, yeah. And it's one like I'll show my sorry to cut anybody off. My 8-year-old's favorite movie is Hellraiser, but I am scared
Nice.
to show her Megan is Missing. Well, she calls Paul
Yeah.
Taylor, who played Pinhead in Judgment, Hellraiser Judgment, Uncle Paul. So yeah, she loves Hellraiser. But yeah, I'm scared to show her that movie. I'm scared to death to show her. But in the age of Roblox and everything, I think every parent
Yeah.
sh- at one
Also
point
No
in
true.
shit.
time,
Good
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Hmm. All right. Norelden, you're gonna decide us here.
Yes. I do appreciate the perspective of the scared straight Megan is Missing perspective
Oh
for
no.
parents.
Oh no.
Um, but unfortunately, I don't think this is fair because I actually haven't seen the film, right? So,
What?
um,
Uh-oh.
I,
Bro, no. See,
I,
you hurry up, go watch it real quick.
We'll
um,
wait.
uh,
Wait. Just like you
we'll
will.
just we'll do a little time stop and I'll come back. No, um, but I'm gonna have to go with it's unfair. I wish I would have seen it, but I'm gonna have to go with Savage Lands. And I'm a little bit biased too. I recommended this film for my review, as one of my picks, and I think it does do a good job, right? It's a clever take on the found footage aspect, right? Found photos, um, and I think it does a good job of like if you're in the mood and if you're able to kind of put yourself in that creative space and kind of imagine what was going on with this town and the suffering that they went through from these creatures or entities that happened. I think it works. I definitely got creeped out from that aspect the last time that I saw it. And I think it's a great job. It does a great job of like showing you without kind of just painting it out for you, right? You have to kind of put a little bit of mental efforts to kind of get
Hmm.
that extra scare from this film. So
Use your
I'm gonna go with
imagination a little bit, yeah.
exactly, right? So it's kind of telling us, hey, you know, put in your batteries a little bit, ponte las pilas un poco, and like check it
Yeah.
out, right? So Savage Line is my pick.
All right.
Oh.
Savage Land wins it.
There'll be more, Jack. Don't worry.
Did Philip vote? Philip, you didn't vote. Let me hear Philip. Philip?
I don't count.
God damn it.
I don't know which one I vote for that one. They're both pretty good.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
It like Megan is Missing is hard to watch, but it does stick with you.
All right.
All right. Let's do Ringu versus Deadstream.
All right,
Ringu, is that a
that's the Japanese The Ring. This is,
yeah. Is that found
So
footage?
so I'm gonna
It's
keep
not
it short and sweet.
Original.
I don't know. I think it's stretching a little bit to call Ringo found footage, but that's okay. We'll go with it. I
All
remember
right.
I said no fucking snobby shit this year. So
Fair
what I'm
enough.
gonna so Ringo's a very influential movie. It's a trendsetter. It's a pioneer. It's a great film. Still holds up, as does the American counterpart. Although the sequel not so much. Um, and so Deadstream was a movie that took everybody by storm when it came out. I want to say 3-4 years ago. Reminds everybody a lot of like The Evil Dead, and stuff like that. It's a fun films. That's really a found footage film, I think, because it's streaming. The guy's streaming, but I can't go against Ringo. Ringo is it's a legitimate classic of its
Mm.
time. So I'm gonna vote for Ringo on this one.
Okay. One for Ringu. Narelden.
Oh wow, I'm kind of surprised. I was the one that suggested Ringu because I thought it was a clever twist of like what's scarier than a film that you see and you end up dying, right? So found footage, you literally watch that tape
Hmm.
and you die, right? So it's
She
kind of being
found
a
the
little bit
footage. Get
being
it?
a little bit liberal with the found footage aspect. Um, but I think Deadstream, man, that's a great film. And I think it fits more in lines of what we're like the spirit of this tournament is. Um, and I'm gonna have to go against my own pick, right? I think in terms of like what this tournament is about, Deadstream's found footage, I think it fits the trope, it fits the methodology of found footage a lot better. Though I'm not negating the impact of Ringu on the horror community. It definitely is a lot more influential than Deadstreams. Um, but I'm gonna have to go with Deadstreams for being closer to found footage than um, Ringu.
You
All
know
right.
what? Neraldin convinced me. I was again.
Uh-oh.
I was thinking
Are we
like a
changing it?
Our first change vote.
I was thinking like a cinephile instead of thinking about what this tournament is, and then I don't want Brian to yell at me either. So therefore, I'm gonna switch my pick. Because Deathstream's a fun film. It's a really
yeah.
good film, and I love the escalation part of it. How it starts off and it just gets bonkers at the end. And again, for its time, which I think came out in 2022, I want to say. It really took. Everybody was talking about it. It was a big hit on Shudder, as was Holtz, which we'll talk about later, and it really put the platform on the map, I think. And so I'm gonna go with Deathstream then. Yeah, you're right, Naraldin, is in that Ringu is definitely a classic in the horror genre, but we're talking about found footage, and Deathstream's a better film if we're gonna keep it to the found footage. So I'm gonna go with Deathstream.
All right. So Deadstream's got two, and we'll mark out that one for Ringu. All right, Jack, you want to set us
Yeah.
straight here?
Yeah, I think I will. Ringo to me is not a found footage film. Deadstream did something that made us all how can I say, like we all have that annoying YouTuber that we watch that you wish would just like really like fall off a cliff or something during a live. Lanky Box. Sorry. Yeah. My kids annoy me with that. Anyways, I'm gonna go with Deadstream.
Deadstream it is. All right, Brian.
I love Nerelden's explanation on why Ringu should be a found footage film,
I
but
do.
I don't consider it a found footage film. And I think Deadstream is incredibly clever, it's funny, and it's very rewatchable. So I'm gonna have to go with Deadstream.
All right, Derek.
Yes, I have to agree that while Ringu is quite literally about a footage that is found, it's about a found tape. I don't think that it fits the aesthetic or the enough of the tropes to really count. This is the number one film on this list that I was like, I'm gonna pump the brakes on that one. I don't know if it should really make the list, but I do understand why, and I like where you were coming from for even putting it, suggesting it, because that's what I was trying to do with some of my picks of like, I know certain movies are going to make this list because I everybody loves these movies. Let me pick a couple more that are a little weirder, a little out there, things that people maybe haven't seen or aren't thinking of in that light. And I only watched Ringu for the first time like last October. I'm a big fan of the remake, the Gore Verbinski 2002 version. But yeah, Deadstream is a lot of fun. And it's one of those where the two like lead actors are also from like they were in like VHS. They were in one of the shorts from VHS like 99, I think. And
Oh,
so kind
yeah.
of
They were it was the apocalypse one.
yeah, the like
it was
Portal to
last
Hell
episode.
one.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
the last one. The last
And that one,
yeah.
I really dug that short film as well in that. So
Yeah.
seeing them kind of get to do bigger things in this, I also like that this one is a kind of the first that I had seen of this style where it's like we're doing a live stream on the internet. I've seen, obviously there's a couple on this list that are like screen films, if you will, ones that take place over Zoom or Skype or whatever it was at the time. But this is a little different than that. And yeah, I think, and it gets a little goofy, it gets a little funny at times, but there's nothing wrong with that. Deadstream, that's my pick. Not that it mattered.
All right, Deadstream with the
I
clean
do want to
sweep.
share really, really quickly. If we were to just look at the films from Ringu, and if we were to kind of, what is it, against Deadstreams, dude, those found footage films, like, they'd just be so boring. It's just straight gibberish, right? If we were to just specifically look at the found footage in Ringu, not even a
A woman,
contest.
a woman brushing her hair,
Dude, come on. That's
a
Right.
chair, a bucket.
It is
No,
creepy though.
The thing that scares me about Ringu is that once you watch it, you're fucked. Like they have
Right.
about 4 or 5 sequels, American, Japanese, and they've tried every which way to trick. I forget her name. She is it Soraya or the girl in the tape?
Samaria.
Yeah, and you can't do it. Once you watch the tape, it's over. You might as well. You're done. They've tried every which way to get out of it, and they just can't. They try to pass the tape to another person. They try to rip the tape up. No, it's not gonna work. You're done. So that's pretty scary.
But they
to
had
me,
the
like,
Grudge Girl fighter that helped. Right?
That's true, but that was a comedy. Yeah, that's true. Though.
I
That
didn't
was,
watch that. I didn't watch that one.
yeah. They did go at it, and it was much like Freddy versus Jason. It kind of ended in a no contest as well, if I remember correctly. So
Spoilers.
so yeah. So anyways, let's go on to the next one. Next
All
round.
right. All right. So Deadstream takes the win. We'll move on to Blair Witch and Paranormal Activity.
Oh, two big ones.
And
Jack,
these are two first seed, going at it this early.
Right?
I know. And I thought about that while I was putting it together. I was like, man, I really don't want to pit these movies against each other, but they're going to end up there anyway.
Yeah.
So
All right.
here we go. Jack, you want to start us out? Blair Witch versus
I
Paranormal
will.
Activity. Man,
All right.
those are heavy hitters.
This I think one of them, one of them, if not hold on, did I put these on my list, Lance? I'm looking at my list. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I know what
I thought you
okay.
put Blair
Yeah,
Witch. but
I
I could be
did
wrong.
put Blair Witch. And I love Paranormal Activity. Like, I know so Paranormal Activity, the first 3, absolutely breathtaking. When it came out, groundbreaking. The thing that spoiled it for me, like, because they pass it off as, oh, this is real footage, is the fact that I think I was in the military and I watched the bootleg version that was from overseas. So the ending I saw was not the ending everyone here saw. So I
Really?
would talk about it and they're like, what? Like, that didn't happen. I'm like, yeah, it fucking did.
what
You know?
movie did you see?
That was before the Steven Spielberg talk, huh?
Yeah.
Because he's the one that switched it up.
Oh,
Oh.
well, oh shit.
I
Okay,
did not
well,
know that.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I saw the UK version apparently. But yeah, and then it kind of went off. I think the marked ones in the franchise was probably one of the most entertaining one, as like you could understand what the fuck was going on, because it was like a superhero almost, before what's that other film? Oh my God, why, you guys know what's the superhero one?
Oh, Chronicles?
Chronicle.
Oh,
Yeah, Chronicle. Yeah, it was I'd say it was before that. But anyways, Paranormal Activity has had a longevity of being a franchise by every film being the exact same. And people still flock to it, other than Next of Kin, which was straight to streaming after COVID. And even Jason Blum regrets putting his name on it. But it still had a great ending if you understood that it was Toby, with the song that was playing. That it was like, I don't know. That's what I got from it. Anyways, Blair Witch Project changed my fucking world when I was a kid.
Yeah, I think it changed a lot of people's world.
Yes. And the next thing 15 years later, I become friends with the creators and like have one-on-one conversations, like, yo, these guys are the people that inspired me. Dan and Ed are like the goats, you know. Um, and then you see the documentary that just came out. I think last year it came out on the whole creation of it and
Mhm.
what they were doing and the work they put into it. And you just admire them even more. And as an indie filmmaker myself, I respect them a lot more in the sense of like they showed you everything, yet they showed you nothing, and it freaked you the fuck out. Okay, that's a damn good found footage film. Paranormal Activity just has a bunch of women that needs to be on meds because they're all bipolar and schizophrenic. So I'm gonna go with Blair Witch Project.
Ooh, all right. Blair
Okay.
Witch Project.
I could go next.
All right, go ahead.
Blair Witch. I want to talk about Blair Witch first because it goes beyond being a film. I'm all of us were around in 1999. All of us. I don't know, but I don't want to make an assumption on Derek, but I think we're all adults in 1999, maybe.
I was alive.
Okay.
I was 9 years old.
He was 4. He was 4 years
Counts.
old.
And the reason I bring that up is because the Blair Witch became a cultural phenomenon. It became more than a film, and it's also a product of its time because
It
that
got
was the
so
last.
popular, people hated on it.
Right. But
Yeah.
the thing to me is like that was the last time in our history where what they did to promote that movie would even be possible.
Right.
Because let's not forget
Facts.
that there was a majority of the audience that thought that was that there was real found footage that they were showing in the movie theater.
Yeah.
There's a
And-
piece of
and-
me that still likes to think it is.
Yes, and then they did that companion documentary on the Sci-Fi Channel where they went and they talked to the town, and which was also kind of creepy because you're thinking all this is real and you're getting a
Yeah.
chance to see the footage that they found, right?
The Shadows of the Blair Witch, I believe it was called.
Right. And it was again, it was on the cusp of our world changing with the internet. You can't do that anymore.
Yes.
And so to me that and anybody that was getting into film at that time, it left an impression because it was like this is something that could never happen again. And this is something that both of the filmmakers should be very proud of. And then on top of that, it really spawned a lot of copycats. You know, the Blair Witch spawned so many that because you do have to have artistic skill to make these movies. A lot of people think you don't, but you do.
Oh,
You know, and
yeah.
Jack here as a filmmaker, he could back that up. You know,
Facts.
and the Blair Witch Project does have a lot of artistic merit to it. I mean, even like the sound design. You know, you
Yeah.
hear the branches cracking at night. You know, if you have the right system for it, like in your house or you've seen a movie theater, a lot of the visuals are great, and it's stuff that just kind of sneaks up on you as you watch it. And then on top of that, there's an entire lore of like the behind the scenes stuff. You know, what happened to the 3 actors, how they never really made it after that, and they're very resentful over like the residuals of the Blair Witch and how they never made it all the whatever. But that's
Yeah.
that's a whole other thing. So to me, when you talk about the Blair Witch, that's the reason why we're doing this tournament. If the Blair Witch Project had not come out, we probably wouldn't be doing this tournament right now because that was such an influential movie in this genre, and it spawned. I would even say it spawned Paranormal Activity. Without Blair Witch, there is no Paranormal Activity. And for I think it's still the highest grossing independent film of all time. I think it was Halloween, and then the Blair Witch beat Halloween. But maybe some other film already took its spot. But from the last I remember, it was still the highest grossing film of all time. And so I'm gonna go with the Blair Witch. Paranormal Activity. I mean, what else? You know, it's also a product of its time. It got a lot of hype. It got big studio heads behind it. Steven Spielberg really liked it. He pushed it a lot. But like I said, it's just to me, I always think about Blair Witch as being so influential. So I'm gonna go with the Blair Witch.
I really like your explanation, Pedro, because you hit it on point. At the time, we all had dial-up internet. You know,
Yeah.
like we were searching as much as we could, and we didn't have Google. We barely had Yahoo, you know, and you had the BlairWitch.com, and then we believed everything we read on the internet at the time.
Right.
Like it is a product of its time. Everything,
Yeah.
you know, it
The
wasn't
Marilyn
like
Manson rib thing. I remember.
hey,
Oh,
that
that's
was
right.
that was spread by word of mouth. It got to every high school throughout the country. We didn't have the internet for that. I mean, we had rotten.com if you're old enough to remember that.
And then the three actors actually kind of they went in hiding for the whole promotional campaign. Like
Until this is when I found out it was all bullshit. I was kind of pissed and hurt.
Yeah.
On the MTV Movie Awards, that they said the stars of the Blair Witch Project, blah, 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 and they walking out, and I'm like, you motherfuckers.
I was like, wait a minute, that motherfucker's dead.
The witch took him.
Yeah. So
cultural phenomenon.
Right. Yep.
Now, with that said, I know these other two are not in the tournament, but I really feel like part 2 is very underrated. If you understand what's happening in this movie, I really love that movie, and I hate the one that came out in the latest one, the Blair Witch.
Yeah, but was part 2 even a found footage movie?
No, it was semi. No, it was semi.
It was very meta.
It's just like
wasn't
Ringu.
Yeah,
it was like Ringu.
Yeah, very meta.
Yeah,
but very misunderstood.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Norelden.
Oh man. No.
Okay.
I haven't went.
Okay, yeah, there's Jack and Pedro. All right. I'm keeping track, I swear to God. All right, Norelden, what's up?
No worries. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna use a term that's it's a KOB term, right? I'm gonna go the post 87 route, and oh my gosh. I don't understand the hype of Blair Witch. I understand the importance and the legacy that it holds with.
So you were for 1999.
Kick him off.
I'm with Norelden.
Look.
Oh, we may already have a.
And we know Brian wasn't for 1999.
That's what I said. Brian's the same age as me.
Look, when this movie came out, I was too little, right? I wasn't even this tall, right?
Okay.
And I watched it again when I was an adolescent. Dude, that shit is, oh man, I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I'm being disrespectful. Oh, Brian, I didn't say it. Okay, look, Brian took the words out of my mouth. And so thank you for that. I don't have to say that.
You're welcome.
But thank you. But Paranormal Activity was perfectly marketed towards my demographic. I was 13 at the time when this movie came out. So I was the perfect gullible age to go into that film and be like, that shit was real.
Real.
Wait, are you Gen
Fair
Z?
enough.
Are you Gen Z?
Fair enough.
I'm a millennial, but it doesn't regardless, right? I'm a youngster, right? Well, we're not that young anymore. I'm 30 years old. And so I'm gonna have to go with Paranormal Activity. I think it's more entertaining for me personally.
We got us a battle.
Look, respect to the films before and kind of paved the way, but Paranormal Activity was made for me. It strikes a chord with my own upbringing and my own kind of culmination of being a found footage horror film nerd fan. I'm going Paranormal Activity.
All right.
You know what? I tried to show my daughter the Blair Witch, and she was completely not interested. But she loves the whole Paranormal Activity series.
It does have Katie Featherston in it. Was quite the looker in my opinion. So
that's right.
Facts. Big facts.
She's a sweetheart.
Like the right kind of chunky.
There you
go. Brian, what do you think?
Oh God.
Well, I think everybody knows what I think. I think Blair Witch is overrated.
Okay, all right, good. You're gonna keep us in it.
I am a fan.
Veto.
Book of Shadows is a better movie than the first Blair Witch.
No, are you get out of here?
No,
Wow.
no.
Is this Brian or is this Lance? Who's did Lance take over Brian's body here?
There's a hot goth chick in it. I know that.
That is true.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
The Wiccan. Yeah, the Wiccan.
Paranormal Activity. I remember the whole campaign to get it in more theaters, and it worked. I will give Blair Witch its flowers. It walks so other franchises can run, and I think Paranormal Activity ran with it.
Yeah, I think Paranormal Activity was was the first one to use that very carny like footage of the audience reacting, which I never believed, by the way.
Yeah.
Was it the first one that did that?
I think so. I remember seeing it.
Yeah. The night vision, and they're like,
right.
And then you're
So
watching
like
the movie, like,
commercials.
when did they do that?
That's right. I know
What do they
exactly.
have?
I mean, they
The
would have
fan?
to sign something. They can't just do that to them, you know. But anyways, nowadays they use all these YouTube influencers, and you recognize them. Oh, I know that, but
Yes.
they're still trying to get one over on us. But yeah, I
I do.
remember that. Anyways, Brian, go ahead.
No, Paranormal Activity for the win, and I'm gonna say it now. When part 8 comes out, which is being directed by the Undertone director, I forgot his name. I think we're all going to be pleasantly surprised.
All
Yeah.
right. I
Well,
gotta get out to watch Undertone this week, so that's on my to-do list.
yeah, you remember when I said it got so big there were haters? All right.
That's true.
Oh, whatever.
I want to add a little bit of extra to the marketing conversation that happened earlier. I do love the fact that, right, like they showed the footage, right, the Carney footage,
Mhm.
and they one-upped the word of mouth that happened before in The Exorcist, where people would talk about like, oh my God, in The Exorcist, like people were fainting, they were like
Yeah.
throwing up, they were walking out, right? And so it was all like up
Yeah.
to your imagination. And with Paranormal Activity, they took it one step further, and they're like, no, here is what people actually do.
Yeah.
You
They
know, it's
showed
not
you the
hearsay,
audience.
it's right here. And so they
Yep.
one up the marketing and the word of mouth of The Exorcist. And so I love that. But I just wanted
Yeah.
to add that.
That's exactly what it was. It's the same line of thought.
You know what? We can agree to disagree. Okay. Okay.
There you
Derek,
go.
tiebreaker. What you think, man?
Okay, it's leaving it up to me. I saw Paranormal Activity in a packed theater. I do remember, and I love the marketing for it. I love
Yeah.
showing the reactions of people in the crowd. I remember the whole like can't you have to demand, you have to go online and demand that it come to your town. And what's funny is I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I saw this in a theater that Lance is familiar with at Disney Springs. Um, and so I
One
saw
that
it
he
on,
never
like,
goes to, but yeah.
yeah.
It's quite a trek to get
Yeah.
there.
I bet. It would be a trek for me as well. But I remember seeing it an absolutely packed theater. And there was just something about that experience. There was, I mean, electricity in that room. Like every little, because it takes its time to kind of let little subtle things happen until we're finally like people are getting thrown around a room and whatnot. But it's like the tiniest little shadow shows up or the door creaks or anything, and people would light up, and everybody was just up out of their seats and screaming. And it was
The
one of those that
chandelier.
I just like fully bought into. And it messed me up for like weeks. It was just in my head. I couldn't, there was something about it that really just ate at me. And I think that it's something that needs to be like, that's where it kind of works, is in the theater. Cause I've shown it to people. I've watched it at home. I'm one of those people where the new one's about to come out. So I rewatch, whatever came before it to kind of, get myself back up again. And I've seen the grand majority of them. And, better or worse, what have you. Whereas like with the Blair Witch Project, like I said, I think by the time that came out, I was like 8 or 9 years old. So like I didn't see it whenever it first came out, but I do remember the kind of advertising and the like, oh, this is real. These people are actually missing. The documentary that was out there. Funnily enough, there was a parody that came out on Cartoon Network called the Scooby-Doo Project that I remember. It's directed by the same guy who did Too Many Cooks for Adult Swim, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Brian turned us onto that one.
I love Too Many Cooks, so I love that guy's I really click into that guy's brain. But so I remember all of that, and I remember finally getting my hands on a copy of it. My mom would, I guess allow me to rent it eventually, and watching it on, a little TV in my room. And that's another one. It just worked. You don't see a thing in that movie. There is nothing really shown to you, but like them running, it's when something is on the outside of that tent and they just open the flap and book it into the darkness, and Heather is screaming, "What the fuck is that?" And the camera keeps swinging back and forth, and you don't see anything. And it's like, what could it possibly be? What could they possibly be this afraid of that's out there? And then the way that it's set up with all the townspeople talking and giving kind of the history, and like the guy explains like, yeah, and he took some kids in there and he'd make one of them stand in the corner and then the other one would get killed and blah, blah, blah. And then the payoff for that at the end, it is it's insane. I think they're both really effective. I think the Blair Witch still holds up for me right now. I think Paranormal Activity, whenever I try and watch it at home, it doesn't have the same effect that I got in the theater because it's just I'm not feeding off the energy of anybody else. So while I like both these films a great deal, I think it really comes down to which of these films basically invented this genre versus which one reinvented this genre. And I have to go with the Blair Witch Project.
All
All
right.
There
right.
you go.
Blair Witch
Well,
Project takes it. That would have been my vote too, for
A little,
for
a
the
little,
record.
a little addendum to what Derek was saying with the whole scene with Heather. First of all, damn you, Wayne's brothers, for ruining that in Scary Movie Part One. But also we have
Come
we have to
on.
we have to remember that that film set the tropes for the later films. So when you explain to people what's going on in Blair Witch Project, people will say, "Oh, well, I've seen that done already in other movies." This was the first one that did a lot of that stuff that we see. It ended up becoming the tropes of other films. So that's why for a lot of people that see it for the first time now, they're not impressed by it. It's like, what's the big deal? But if you were seeing it at that time for the first time, it's like, oh shit, okay, this is happening. And of course, like I said, they've done parodies on it and all that stuff. So yeah, so I don't know. I'm glad that Blair Witch is moving on to the next round.
Yeah. Well,
Overrated.
and see, okay,
That was a good
at,
round.
at the time, I didn't actually think that it was real, but there was like the littlest possibility, and that was enough
Yes.
for me. Like the drive on the way home after seeing that movie was like kind of through the mountainous woods, and I was freaking out.
Yeah. See, we in the South is a lot of country, and
Yeah.
anyone that
Mhm.
saw that, I'm sure we did not sleep with the lights on. The TV had to be on. Something had to be on at night. Like
Yeah, it was
camping.
creepy.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
All right, Blair Witch moves on by the skin of its teeth.
Well, I see what's
Uh,
next.
All
Oh,
right,
no.
so we got Wreck and Diary of the Dead.
I'll go
All right.
first on this one because
Pedro, all right,
it's
let's
gonna be
go.
short and sweet. Diary of the Dead was one of George Romero's worst films, unfortunately. He was, I don't want to say past his prime, that's very disrespectful, but he just didn't have the money to do what he wanted to do by this point in his career. And it's one of those films that when you see his filmography, people always look down on. It just wasn't a very good movie. It's not even canon to the rest of the Dead series, which was weird. It's like it's a whole nother story. And Rec was another one of those films that if you were a product of that time, it kind of really blew up. It's a film from Spain. I actually like all four of them. A lot of people hate on number 3 and 4. I like all four of them.
Me
I don't think
too.
I ever watched it until we started doing the show.
Yeah, it kind of blew up. It made a lot of, they remade it here as Quarantine, I think it was.
Yes, quarantine, and then
Oh, yeah,
quarantine
that's right. I
to
do remember seeing
the
that.
airport or something. I got it in the other room.
Yeah, the
And
airport.
what I love about Rec, and I'm gonna show a little love to Rec too, because it's like the Alien and Aliens of that genre, right? Because Rec is so subdued,
Okay.
it's very quiet. You're dealing with maybe one, I guess you call them entities or demons at a time. Whereas Rec 2 is like they send like a battalion of people into that same unit, and it's just you see machine guns and explosions, and
Right.
it's just an awesome movie in a different way. They make for great double features if you ever want to watch both of them in the same day. But no, I'm gonna go with Rec. I mean, no question about it in this matchup here.
All right. Jack.
Fuck. I want to pass it on to Brian.
Okay, Brian.
Easy Wreck.
Easy
I
Wreck.
agree with Pedro. This is one of Romero's weaker films. Wreck spawned a franchise, which I do like all four films, and I do like the remake. Not so much the sequel to the remake, but we're not talking about that one. So I have to give
The
it to Wreck.
sequel to the remake. I have to really think about what that means. Okay.
Quarantine 2.
Yeah.
Terminal, wasn't it called like Terminal or something? The
Yeah.
Terminal?
I think so.
Yeah. It is horror. Oh, anyways.
I gotta look for that DVD because I still collect physical media. I don't have that one. Quarantine 2, okay.
Bet you Nez does.
It's a
Steelbook.
shit. Anyways, all right. I guess I'll go because
Yeah.
you know what? I want to be a deciding factor. Nerelden, get you up. You up, man?
All right,
Okay.
Nerlin, what do you think?
Man, Diary
Diary
of
of
the
the
Dead
Dead and Wreck.
and Wreck. Um, I don't think it was one of George A. Romero's best films. Um,
Yeah.
and it's going against Wreck, that ending, it sticks with you. Um, and it's in Spanish. Spanish was my first language, so I'm always a sucker. So I'm a little bit biased, um,
Yeah. True that.
in that aspect. But man, that ending in Wreck is just, it's intense. And it sticks with you, and it's something that, I mean, you don't ever forget the first time that you see it, right? So I'm gonna have to go with Wreck.
All right. Wreck decides it. Derek,
Okay. I mean,
your vote doesn't matter, but
it
we'll
doesn't
let you
matter,
vote
but
anyway.
I'll go ahead and give a little 2 cents. I used to really really love zombie movies. I mean, I still do to an extent, but there was a period in high school where it's like that was my
But you
shit.
used to too.
Yes, thank you, Mitch. uh, and so like seeing, and then also loving found footage movies. It's like doing both together. I should love this movie, Diary of the Dead. Um, but I mean, it definitely feels like George A. Romero just kind of trying to take advantage of uh the big gimmick at the time. This came out in like '07, '08, something like that. And so I've watched it a few times. I think I own it on DVD. And it has its moments, but it falls into that thing of found footage that annoys me, where a lot of it seems a little too convenient for them to have been filming at certain moments. They just happen to have the camera on, and then this big thing of plot or dialogue or whatever happens. Whereas Wreck is one that I've always seen, obviously talked about, and I did not watch until being kind of asked to do this. And it was the first one that I was like, well, I have to go watch that right now because I know we're going to talk about it. There's no way we don't. Also around the same time, came out like basically the same year as far as I know. And my God, is it as good as everybody says it is? Once, I mean, it's this thing where like the beginning of it is, set up with this woman doing a news report, and I don't know if you guys have there is a documentary out there it's literally just called 9/11, and it is about a group of filmmakers who were shooting a documentary with
On the firehouse.
on the firehouse in New York.
I've seen it. Yeah.
And it had nothing to do with what it ended up being. They were just doing a piece about these firefighters in New York. And during the shooting of that, 9/11 happens, and they go into, and a lot of the footage that you've seen of the towers coming down and things happening in those buildings come from this documentary.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
it is fascinating.
Didn't they play it on CBS, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes, I believe a year to the day.
A year later.
Yes. Yeah. And I only watched it a few years ago because I didn't know anything about it, and it is amazing to watch. And that's what this feels like to me, is she is doing this piece, and then a terrible thing happens, and they just keep the cameras rolling.
Yeah.
And it feels real, and it's like once they get into that building and they close them off, it almost feels like it runs in real time. And because they're just rolling all the time, and just worse and worse things happen. And then that ending is wild in the best possible ways. But yeah, it's Wreck for me. No questions.
Well, I know it doesn't even matter. I was gonna say Wreck, but I will say, and I'm surprised it's not on this list. The Zombie Diaries, the British version that was happening, that came out right with Diary of the Dead, is a way better first and a sequel than Diary of the Dead. Unfortunately, like if you guys have you guys seen that version?
Yes.
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was made, but I don't even think like they were trying to be like a knockoff or a mockbuster to that one, but it's done very well, very very well. You'll like that better than Diary of the Dead.
Yeah, George Romero was that might have been his last film. Maybe Survival was. But...
Survival, I believe Survival.
Okay.
So...
Yeah, he did Survival after that.
Which was
but
even worse than Diary.
In the right mind. He wasn't in his right mind then. Yeah.
Right.
His son Cameron, C. Romero, was my film mentor. So
Oh,
I
okay.
learned a lot about his father through him. But yeah, from what I remember, he wasn't in his right mind for Survival. Even though, I mean, look, it is a sequel to, Diary of the Dead, and I hated how they blended it all. It
Yeah.
was, yeah. But I mean, zombies eating horses, like what the fuck? The fuck?
That's
The
right.
fuck? Like,
Well, anytime like there's a big budget found footage movie, it sort of is like the Steve Buscemi with the skateboard thing, you know? Like, how you
hey,
doing,
what's up,
fellow
you cool
kids?
kids? Yeah.
Well, we're
So,
about to talk about a really big budget found footage movie next, I think, which I'm
well, that
excited,
is
Yeah,
true. That
yeah.
is
which I'm very
true.
excited to talk about.
All right. Well, we'll see how that goes. Rec takes that one. So the next one is Cloverfield and Troll Hunter.
Damn, we didn't
All
even get
right.
to the
Oh,
next.
Let me go
interesting.
first on this one.
Pedro, sounds like you're itching,
Cloverfield is one of my
champing at
favorite
the bit.
films. I love Cloverfield. I love, but it's a film that's almost tailor-made for me, so I'm very biased. Everything about that film is stuff that I like about movies. It's got a big monster. It's got chaos. It's
I've just
got
never heard anybody say that about Cloverfield. Oh,
no, I love that film.
all right.
I could, you could, it's so rewatchable. But the thing about Cloverfield too is that it has so much lore behind it and mythology. Like there's been essays written about Cloverfield. Where did the monster come from? Did it come from outer space? Did it come from the seafloor? There's so many
Watch
questions.
Paradox. You'll find out. Watch
Yeah,
Paradox.
that's true. But there's a lot of retconning in that film too.
Yeah.
And it's just such an interesting film to me. It's also I like how they use that trope of like people just living their lives, like their everyday lives, and then all of a sudden this thing just happens, and now they have to
Yeah.
deal with that. Because I
Yeah.
think that's very true to life. Sometimes we're just living our lives, and then we have some sort of big tragedy happen in our life, and we got to go through that all of a sudden, unprepared. I love some of the visuals. Obviously, the Statue of Liberty head is a classic shot in that movie. TJ Miller being the camera guy, he did get annoying after a while because
Yeah.
you're like, bro, like put the fucking camera. See that's one thing I don't like about that movie. They didn't do a good job of explaining why he has to continuously keep the camera. He just keeps it for the sake of the movie, which is like, come on, dude.
Wait, I think he
That's the
wanted
big
the
budget
drama. He
ones.
wanted to catch the drama
Yeah, that's what
between
he
the
kept on
girlfriend and
saying. But your life's at stake here, buddy. Like, drop that shit and run. That's like. But you're right.
oh,
They did have a throwaway line of him wanting to
yeah.
capture the whole drama of it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, people are gonna want to see this.
That's right. We saw it, all right.
Yeah.
And I also like how like it's like peeling an onion, right? You're getting to know more about the monster, about how the government is reacting to things. What the little parasites that show up at the tail end of the movie and they make people blow up and stuff. Or like, I mean, it's just such a fun time. But then again, you guys put it against Troll Hunter, which is another fun movie.
Also true.
Lower budget, of course, not their fault. But also just a fun time with this one guy that just goes around hunting trolls. That's literally the movie, like a guy that goes around hunting big ass trolls, and he wears this badass like bucket on his head, and he's got this shield, and the trolls knock him around. That's another fun movie. But for this occasion, I'm gonna have to go with Cloverfield because that one's actually I would say in my top 20 films of all time. So I'm gonna have to go with Cloverfield on this one.
Oh, can I go
Wow.
next?
Yeah, that makes it
Go ahead,
easy.
Jack.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to go. Okay, so truthfully, I've never seen Troll Hunter. I know we shouldn't say it, but I never seen it, and I've wanted to so many times, but I've seen the ending on like Watch Mojo so many goddamn times. It's like I don't want to watch it because I know how it ends. And they just came out with a sequel too. I think last year or year before. But Cloverfield's marketing, just like Blair Witch. I saw this trailer before God, I forgot what movie it was.
Transformers.
It was
Transformers.
Transformers. Yes. And we were like, is this a Godzilla movie? Because they didn't
That's what I
reveal the
thought.
title
Yes.
or nothing. What was that?
I said that's what I thought. The same thing, the
Yeah.
Godzilla deal.
Yeah. And because the last Godzilla we had was,
Yeah.
well,
It was
anyway,
the Matthew Broderick one. Yeah, that was
yeah,
terrible.
hey, we don't talk about that one. But no, Cloverfield.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Cloverfield. All right. Brian, you want to go next?
Yeah, both fun movies, but I have to go with the one that's more rewatchable, and that's Cloverfield. The movie that was so big, they took two pre-existing, already made movies and altered them to try to fit into the franchise.
What?
That's what it seemed like.
No, that's what they
Okay,
did. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
It was like the later Hellraisers. You know how the later Hellraisers were like old scripts that they just made into Hellraiser movies? It's
Yes.
kind of the same thing. Um and yeah, again, the lore that came out of that, man, I'm marking out for this movie right now, big time. The lore that came out of that, like later on, we find out that I guess Clovey is the name of the monster that whatever. No, we didn't know knows the fucking name of this monster. We find out that Clovey's just like a baby and like he hasn't even fully grown yet, like shit like that. That just came out of the mythology, right? Because
Mhm.
J.J. Abrams produced this film, and he's a believer of the what does he call that gimmick that he uses? The mystery box gimmick or whatever that he likes to use in all his stuff, where like he constantly like puts all these mysteries around his projects, and then he's revealing little by little. He'll tell you what they are. And so with this film, we got a lot of that. We got this. The marketing had this weird chocolate bar that for some reason it is just, and then it had like the space station because I guess a satellite falls into the ocean and that's what wakes up Clovey, supposedly. So, anyways, great film. I mean, enough marking out for that movie.
And I think it was transported in the paradox from a parallel dimension.
That's
It
right. We
brought
find that out in the
into
third one.
yeah, in the third one. Yeah, and then you realize like the whole third one shouldn't have anyways.
But it had a great cast though. Like that
Yes.
international. They got so many great like legendary actors for their countries, and
Mhm.
it fucking sucked. I don't know what happened, but it wasn't a good movie. But that the cast was great.
It was great marketing on that too. It premiered on Netflix or yeah, Netflix
After the
right after the
Super
Super
Bowl.
Bowl.
That's
Yeah.
right. They've
Yeah.
never done that again, by the way. It's like
True.
here's a trailer for Cloverfield 3. Guess what? You can watch it now. Oh shit. That's
Yeah.
cool.
All right, Derek, what do you think?
Troll Hunter was one of mine that I put up. It was one of those kind of it's a big monster movie, but it's kind of light on the horror. It's almost a comedy at times. Um, and I love, but that's like part of the charm of it to me is I love how like deadpan and serious that they all take it. This
Yeah.
like kind of ridiculous premise of a guy who hunts trolls and all the folklore and all the storybook fantasy stuff is all true. And then like there's points where they talk to people and they do interviews and they're like trying to kind of scientifically explain like how these creatures would exist and why they have multiple heads and why sunlight hurts them and things like that. I really dig this movie a lot. I have to wonder if they hadn't called it Troll Hunter. I don't know what you would call it otherwise, but like if you didn't know that that's what it was, and it was just like because it starts with like people just like trying to figure out what this guy is doing out in the wilderness. People in the town think that he's a poacher and he's killing bear, and so it's like it's not until he comes running out of the woods and screams the word troll that you know that that's what's happening, and then it's still like, what did he say? What? So I find it fascinating. But that being said, Cloverfield is an all timer for me as well, Pedro. Dude, every episode that you are on that I listen to of this show, I am like, you and I are locked in, buddy. Like, I am so on your wavelength. I remember seeing the trailer before Transformers. They didn't give a title, they gave a date of when this movie was releasing.
Yes, it was. Yeah. And we were like,
And it came out, if I'm not mistaken, it came out like in January. And I saw it on the day. It was like, I'm clearing my schedule. Whatever it is, I have to be there on that date. I remember following, and I'm from a small town in Florida. Originally, we had dial-up internet for the longest time. So like I couldn't get in on all of the like there was all these like websites and like things that you could do online to kind of figure out the mystery of it all before it came out. I didn't get to really do any of that. I watched a lot of YouTube videos of people breaking it down themselves, but I just remember all the craziness of like what could this thing possibly be, and it's an incredible experience. It's yes, it does walk that line where I'm a little iffy on like, okay, would they still be recording? It's a little much. But I love all the actors in it. I think it's like there's so many quotes from this movie that just go round and round in my head. I've watched it so many times. And I know it's kind of the example that everybody gives of like, oh, it's just all shaky cam, and I get sick whenever I watch it. It's like I saw it on the big screen. I've seen it on, every other screen size that you could imagine, and I've never gotten sick from it personally. I think it chooses its moments. I love how little of the monster you get to see. They dole it out just the like perfect amount for me, for what this type of movie is doing. I love it. I love this movie. So yeah, Cloverfield for me.
All right, Cloverfield. Nerelden?
Oh yeah, Troll Hunters. That's a fun film. That's just like all around a good time. You pop it on, you're gonna have fun, right? I think it's definitely um a good film to like recommend for folks to kind of check out some found footage films. Not so much scary. I would agree with Derek's breakdown. It's more of like a monster film, right? But it's good, you know. I think it fits the found footage genre perfectly. But it's Cloverfield, man. Cloverfield, holy crap, dude, that's an excellent film. Um, I'm gonna have to go with Cloverfield. Like you're going up against one of the big dogs. It's hard to go against it. So Cloverfield.
Clean sweep. All right. Move on to the next one. As above, so below, and Grave Encounters. Man, those are like way different movies.
That's that. Oh God. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, reverse it. Derek, what do you think?
Oh man, this is another pair up that I was like hoping wouldn't happen, but here we are. I love both these movies. One of them I've only seen once. As Above, So Below, I saw in theaters, and it is what's funny is to now say, yeah, this is a movie that made me sick to watch physically, but I don't think it was from the shaky cam. Because I was like feeling off like from the from the jump. And I think that's more from like the claustrophobia that As Above, So Below creates.
It's a weird, creepy
that is
movie.
something. Yeah, yeah, and it's even from like because it starts, if I'm not mistaken, it starts on like a bus or something, and so you're out with people, but there's still something about it's so cramped that opening shot.
Mhm.
And I think it's just like thematically, it bleeds so well into like we're going to be going into the catacombs. It's going to be tight. It's going to be dark. It's going to be claustrophobic, and like that is something that also affects me. Things like Neil Marshall's The Descent. That's a horror film before you ever introduce anything else, just by them going into the cave. So, As Above, So Below, I love, and both of these kind of do a similar thing that is introduced in the Blair Witch Project, which is a plot device that I absolutely love in a lot of these movies, which is they both have a moment where they think they're going to get out and they end up looped back around to where they started. Anytime that a movie pulls that off, I absolutely love it. Because it is the immediate sense of hopelessness of we're never getting out of this situation
Yeah.
because we thought we were, and here we are. And both of them have that moment because there's a moment in this where they crawl over a section and go into a different section of the catacombs, and you end up back in that same loop. And then in Grave Encounters, it's like you go in and they make a big deal whenever they first go in of like there's like spray paint or something on the doors, and they are trying to escape later in the movie, and they find this other set of doors and they think they're getting out, and they open them up, and then they're right back at those original doors with the spray paint. And it's like it's just this gut punch in the middle of both these films. They also have, to me, similar like aesthetics when it comes to some of the scariness. With Grave Encounters, it's a lot more of like that. I think Grave Encounters is kind of the first one where I saw where they did that look of like the elongated mouth, the blackened eyes that then a ton of other movies, took from that. And it's a lot of that. I think the most horrifying stuff in Grave Encounters is like the moments where all the arms like come out of the wall. There's just things in that movie that like images that are just kind of burned into my brain. And As Above, So Below, I love because it's just they're there for a specific reason, and they think they know what's going on, and then just weirder and weirder and weirder shit just keeps happening. Um, man, this is a tough one. Um, I like the gimmick of them doing Engrave Encounters, of them doing like a Ghost Hunters um type show that goes poorly. And there's another one on this list that does a similar thing later on. Um, oh man, if I had to go with what I've seen more and that I tend to show other people, I'd have to go with Grave Encounters. I'll just choose that.
Okay. Grave Encounters with one. Norelden.
Oh man, this is another difficult matchup right here. As above, so below, or Grave Encounters.
Yeah, this one's hard. I don't know what
This
I'd
is
pick.
this is a difficult one. Um, I think between those two films, I know Grave Encounters, I like the satire of it. I think it was a little bit ahead of its time.
Yeah.
Definitely ahead of its time. I think they were kind of spot on of kind of looking into the future and kind of seeing where a lot of where we're at today is kind of um, they were right on the pulse for that. And as above, so below, I like the story of it better. You know, I think I would be more inclined to put that on than Grave Encounters for my own personal preference. Um, I do also get a little bit disoriented, right? You're going into the catacombs, which is a great setting for a film, and you're kind of going deeper and deeper and deeper into that. And then again, the hopelessness of it, like Derek was sharing, oh man, that sucks. Um, and so I think between those two, the rewatchability for my personal taste, I'm gonna have to go with As Above, So Below. But Grave Encounters is a great film, but I'm gonna have to go with As Above, So Below.
All right. 1-1. Brian.
Hmm. I do think Grave Encounters is a more fun film, but
For
I'm gonna have
sure.
to go with As Above, So Below. I think is the better film, and we're here to find what is the best found footage movie. I like what's happening in the movie. I enjoy the cast, the whole Paris catacombs, the Dante's Inferno aspect. Think it all works.
Can't
So As
disagree.
Above, So Below.
All right. Pedro.
Yeah, I'm same thing. I think I'm looking for the better film. And Grave Encounters did start that trend of like having like the influencer go into like the hospital or the asylums or whatever. I think that was probably one of the first ones, if not the first one, to really do that. And then they spawned a lot of copycats. So it is a very influential film. However, As Above, So Below is just a better movie. It's a well-made movie. And so I'm gonna go with that one.
All right. Jack, what do you think?
I do love the whole seven layers of hell of in As Above, So Below. But I love me some Lance Hendrickson. Or is that's his last name, right? In the film, Grave Encounter, Lance yeah, or yeah.
Is it?
Uh,
Okay.
I think it's
Friend
Derek.
of the show.
Do
I,
Google
I
search
mean,
real quick. Lance. I know it's Lance.
Of the
Lance.
character,
Yeah.
Lance Preston.
Lance Preston. There you go.
there is a Lance Henriksen who doesn't like the horror returns, but that's
Nah,
all.
No,
that he
does.
likes us.
That's
cool.
He was
another.
his handler.
Okay,
Awesome.
my bad. I don't know who that is. I just thought that's what his name was. Okay, Lance Preston.
Okay.
I'm going with Grave Encounters, and I have to say that is probably the most expensive at the time in 2012, 2013, the most expensive fucking DVD to find because I think I bought both one and two for $40. You know,
Damn.
yeah, it was expensive where I was. But fuck part two. That's all I'm gonna say. We need
Two is awful.
it's
Yeah,
anyways. So Grave
it's not
Encounters.
great. Grave Encounters. All right. Well, it didn't matter. As above, so below wins.
Yeah,
but
fuck you guys.
Let me pause
but
really
I was
quick.
borderline because I do love me some Grave Encounters. I haven't watched it until like maybe the past 5 or 10 years, but like I didn't see it when it first came out, and I love that movie. It's so great.
And I wanted to say real quick that historically, because I don't want Lance to miss his tacos later on, historically, the first round tends to go longer, and then the later rounds we kind of fly by them. So I know time's an issue here, especially on a weekday, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. It's just the first round. We all gotta do a rationale for all these films, but the second and third and so on rounds we just fly through them. So
boom, 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 boom. Okay.
All right.
Whew.
Unless y'all want to break it up, if we need to do that, that's fine. All right. We'll go VHS versus Cannibal Holocaust. Here we go.
VHS. I'm done.
VHS. Pedro starts it
No,
off.
no. I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm gonna look. This is hard. Okay. I'm a cat lover. I have cats. I love animals, and I don't appreciate the fact that Deodato decided to kill animals in this film. Very disturbing. But we still got to give it its flowers. You know what I'm saying? Because it is a very influential film. People know it. People in the horror genre respect it. But it's just a film that I just can't watch. It's just so disturbing because of the animal cruelty. And not just the animal cruelty, the cruelty to the actors, because they have some stories of being on set. And so it was a different time, right? We got whatever. It was a different time. I don't know. I want to say there was no malicious intent, but who knows? Especially if you hear about Roberto Deodato stories. So I'm gonna go with VHS. I'm not hating on Cannibal Holocaust because of that. VHS is still one of my favorite films. It's probably one of my favorite anthologies of all time. There's about 2 or 3 different stories there that I really like to revisit. It introduced us to the directors that did the Scream 5
Radio
and 6.
Silence.
Radio Silence, yeah, and that fucking writer that fucked up Part 7 too. But they've done, they did Abigail. That's a great film. I mean, they have some stuff under their belt that's very respectable. And really, this was their big introduction to like mainstream filmmaking. Was the first VHS movie. And yeah, there's a lot of good stories here that I remember. Like, they did the movie Siren with that first story about that girl that was like a bat or whatever.
Fuck that movie.
The movie or the story, because there's the story of this film and then there's the actual movie.
The movie sucked. The cinematic movie, in my opinion, of Siren, they ruined the first.
They ruined this vignette.
Yeah.
You're saying
Yeah.
yes.
The short was good.
I agree with that.
short-
Yeah, the short was good.
Yeah,
and then the one that the Radio Silence did was the one where the guys try to go into the house and they're having the seance, and that's another cool story. So VHS really had a lot of really good stories going for it. And of course, no anthology is ever going to get it right. I feel like there's always a bomb in every anthology, except Creepshow. I think Creepshow, all of them are great. So I'm going to go with VHS on this one.
Okay. VHS. Jack, what do you think?
Without VHS, there would be no Paranoia tapes. VHS was the first film as an adult that I watched that scared the living fuck out of me, and I had nightmares. I remember the night, I remember the thought, and as ironic as it is, Hannah Fierman, who starred in Siren, ended up starring in my film, or was in an anthology, which she was in my film Horror Nights that became #1 in 2020. And so it was pretty awesome that she, the chick that I had a nightmare about was in my film. Like, fuck, like that's creepy as shit.
That's cool.
VHS for the win.
VHS for the win. All right. Cannibal Holocaust is too much. All right, let's go to Derek, because you might be the guy.
No, he better not be.
Okay.
Oh fuck, here we go.
Cannibal Holocaust.
You're the film dude.
I watched shortly after high school, if I'm not mistaken. I've only ever seen this movie once. And it is still so many things in it are vivid in my brain. And for all the reasons that Pedro gave, I don't really want to watch this movie again. I do give it the respect that it kind of deserves in a way of that extreme level of film, setting off, in the exploitation genre, so much of the cannibal stuff. But yeah, the real, got my hands on a copy that had all the animal deaths, and that was the turtle scene. Turns my stomach to this day. But that was during the era that I was trying to watch, as many extreme boundary pushing movies as I could.
God help
But
you.
this is one where, and Pedro, you and I kind of went back and forth on in our chat earlier. This is another one where I almost don't call it a full found footage film. It's almost a proto found footage film to me, much in the same way that like Black Christmas and Texas Chainsaw Massacre are like proto slashers before Halloween kind of invented it. And so I think this is like, because it's enough of stepping away from that, and we're looking at, you know, footage that was shot. I don't know, it just doesn't fit the same palette of it hadn't figured out all the tropes yet. It hadn't invented all the tropes yet. Whereas VHS, I remember seeing the trailer for that originally, and similar to what Jack said, it's like I remember it, like the images that I saw in that trailer alone, I was like, I don't know what the hell this is, but I've got to find it. I've got to see it. And then unfortunately, whenever I finally did, I didn't love it. A lot of them, and I love anthology films as well, so it's weird that this one doesn't really work for me. And I hadn't rewatched it. I've seen all of the other VHS films up until last year's VHS Halloween. I haven't watched that one yet. I wanted to in October, and time got away from me. And so I didn't really gel with the VHS films until about, I think it's VHS 94. Is that the fourth one?
Yeah.
There it started really, like, they started clicking for me for whatever reason. And like you guys have said, in a, you know, most anthologies, you've got like a couple really good ones, a couple okay ones, and then one that's just absolutely terrible. And that's how I feel like most of these kind of go. But I also think that the VHS franchise is like almost a proving ground at this point for horror directors to kind of cut their teeth. And so I find that interesting. I rewatched this just to kind of get it fresh in my head. And yeah, that opening one, not the wraparound story, that's fine, but the one with the I think it's the one with the chick that you guys are talking about, who they then Siren, yeah, that they expounded into that one. That is the strongest one in this film. And then I do like the one by the Radio Silence guys, the like 1031 20 or 98, I think is what it's called. And that one has some images that really stick in my head. Again, the hands coming through the wall thing, man, that it's weird and it does it for me. Which
I think
like that's an image
that
that's the image that comes from
Day of the Dead?
Romero's Day of the Dead. Like, yeah. And but it's there's just something creepy about that, man. So all of that to say, these are not films that I want to put on very often, if at all. But just to go with what's the best found footage film, I'm going with VHS.
Ooh, yes.
By the way, in my opinion, the best vignette or skit or whatever you want to call it is the Colt one in part 2. That's the best one out of all of them. From now to the one with the Colt in part 2, VHS 2.
Oh yeah, oh dude,
that one's awesome. That one is really good. It just builds and builds and builds. It's awesome.
It just that, man, yeah. And then Eduardo Sanchez from Blair Witch did the zombie one in the woods one. He did that one.
Oh, okay.
When it was the helmet cams, did that the GoPro?
That's on part 3, I think, right?
2.
Oh, 2. Okay. Oh, that's right. Okay.
We don't really discuss part 3, but after VHS Beyond came out, we revisit part 3.
Part 3. Okay, I see.
Yeah. After Beyond.
Yeah, the sci-fi one, I think.
Yeah, and my buddy Mike Ferguson was in the best short in the entire one. In the entire film, he was in the alien one when they're about to go skydiving and shit.
That one was cool. Yeah,
he plays the guy that's in the vehicle, like in the truck in the field. He's like, "Come on, blah blah blah," and he gets blown up.
Right.
I texted him. I was like, "Bro, you didn't tell me you were in this." He's like, "Yeah."
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Norelden, what do you think?
Oh man, I kind of want to go back to the original discussion that we were having, where Cannibal Holocaust is definitely, if I was an adolescent, like if I was 13, 14 years old, that's going to be my pick. That's going to be my pick because this is, of course,
forbidden
right?
fruit, right?
Exactly, right? It's that unattainable film behind the video store clerk.
Faces of Death.
Oh, let me get that alongside Faces of Death, right? But I think now as an adult, like I can't watch that shit anymore, dude. Like that is just so so uneasy, right? And it's I feel like those images stick in your head, but for the wrong reason, right? Knowing that like something actually died, I
Oh
think really
yeah.
changes a lot of the dynamics, right? That's why I love horror films and I don't like any of these like crime documentaries because documentaries like that shit was real. Someone actually died, something actually happened. I don't like that. I want some escapist entertainment, right? And Cannibal Holocaust, I mean it's real, right? Those are real animal deaths, but I will also give it its flowers because it planted a lot of seeds, right? It planted the seeds so like films like Blair Witch could possibly pick up on that, right? Um, Paranormal Activity. Without Cannibal Holocaust, there is no found footage um, genre, right? It's a precursor before anything, right? It's you find these
Mhm.
cassette tapes and you
Eh,
kind of go with it.
To an extent,
yeah.
Jack.
Act,
I
well, the original found footage film is Peep. The
Oh,
Peeping
that's right,
Tom.
with the guy with the camera, right?
Yeah, yeah.
oh, and then it, with yeah, 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 yeah.
The
So
black and white
Peeping
film, I
Tom
think.
yeah, black and
guy.
white. Yeah, it was the first film to do that. Yeah.
Peeping Tom. That's
Peeping
it.
Tom. Yeah.
But that being said, I'm gonna have to go with VHS. I love me some
Yes.
anthology films. VHS, and especially as a parent, as a dad, like I'm not gonna show my kids Cannibal Holocaust, but I am gonna show them VHS. That's for sure.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay.
Like,
And my kids love my daughter who loves Hellraiser, obviously. She loves the VHS series. She's like, Dad, put on that. I'm like, well, Dad
Yeah,
has
that makes
paranoia
sense.
tapes. No, I
They're
want to watch
fun.
VHS. Like,
so I'm going
Fucking
VHS.
kids.
yeah, I know, right? Fuck them kids, man. Goddamn.
Brian, what do you think?
Well, obviously VHS. It spawned a great
Obviously.
franchise.
Yeah, it's still going today. I mean, we're getting one a
Oh
year
yeah.
now.
That's the
So
new Halloween release, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
Wait,
I'm gotten
what?
excited about them.
No, I said
Huh?
we're getting one a year now from VHS.
Yeah. I see upon first viewing of Halloween, I was like, eh. But then I rewatched
Yeah.
it. And the second time, I enjoyed the fuck out of it. It was just because like we were coming off VHS Beyond. You know, it's just like, oh my God, I really hope they do good with this, you know. Um I think one thing they did differently, I think the tone, that's what really set it aside from the other ones, especially with the photography guy. Like Megan is missing. Shit. Yeah, no, she got hacked. She got. Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
the photography one was a little reminiscent to the Poughkeepsie tapes kind of vibe.
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure. For
that's the
sure.
one that kind of disturbed me. That's why when I reviewed it here on this show, I was like, I don't know if I like this one because
Mhm.
it didn't jive with the other vignettes. It was like the other ones were so lighthearted, and then all of a
Yeah,
sudden we got this that's very, very like dark. Um,
right.
yeah, but like you said, in rewatching, I kind of liked it as well. The
The,
entire film.
mhm. Sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off, Pedro.
No, go ahead.
No, well, I was gonna say the one thing I didn't like about it, the way it ends. Like there was really no wraparound this time. Like I didn't really, unless
It
I
was
got
the
to
soda
rewatch.
one, right? That was the soda one, I
Yeah, the
think.
soda. Okay, so yeah, the soda one. Yeah. I totally forgot. But it still didn't end. It didn't end.
Right.
It just ended. It was like you hear the music, like
Yeah. And it
uh,
continues on.
yes. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay. I just wish they would contact me.
Yeah.
Hello, guys. Come on. Give me a budget to work with. I got you.
There you go. You got 12 films under your belt that you could show them. Like, this is what I could do. Maybe
Yeah,
more than
but
I'm just talking about the
the
paranoia tapes.
anthology. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got
All
12.
right.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? A lot of those took it with a clean sweep. We'll see what the other
Several
side
did.
does.
Yeah.
Oh God, wait, I'm looking at what is that one? Oh, ooh. Okay. This is
All right, well,
good.
let's see what we got. We got late night with the devil and unfriended.
But wait, you got host right there though, or is
No, you
that?
got
Yeah, so
host.
I'm gonna drop
Yeah.
host down to the last spot because we only had 33 teams. So unfriended gets a free win there as the
Okay.
play-in game, and we'll go late night with the devil versus unfriended.
Oh, that's easy. This is easy.
Okay, so
This-
Is it?
I'll go first because it is an easy one for me. First
Yeah.
of all, Late Night with the Devil. I don't know if that meets the criteria, but I don't care. I'm gonna go with that one because that's a great film,
Okay.
and so I go with Late Night with the Devil.
I second that. I know it's not my turn, or if it is, I don't know, but
That's
I
okay.
second that.
Brian?
Brian
Yeah,
felt
Late
safe.
Night with
Oh.
the Devil.
All right, winners. Darrell then.
Dude, I love me some Polka Dot Man. Yeah, Late Night with the Devil.
Derek?
Oh yeah, Suicide Squad.
I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to waste anybody's time. I do think that Unfriended works so much more than it has any right to.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah.
kind of like invented a new sub genre in this genre.
Yeah.
And I've seen several other. I haven't seen the sequel, Dark Web, but I have seen several other movies that use this gimmick, and I kind of dig them. I don't know why.
Searching is amazing. I think Searching is
Searching
like
was great.
that's
I
like an
haven't
actual
seen
good
Searching.
film. Yeah,
I
that's
haven't
like
seen
a
it.
even outside of the genre, that's just a good
And
film in general.
Missing was the other one. I
Missing, that was
believe?
a sequel to
Yeah.
Searching.
I've seen those. I really
So-
enjoyed them.
So War of the Worlds, right? Ice Cube. Is what
Oh,
you're
no.
saying?
No, come
I haven't
on,
watched that
Jesus
one.
Christ. Oh my God.
Whereas
Cinema, Amazon.
Whereas Late Night with the Devil, again, it's kind of iffy on the like, is it found footage? Is it whatever? But as somebody who works in TV production, it's I love what it's doing here. I love to see, it's a period piece. It's looking at the behind the scenes of TV
Yeah.
and how it's all put together. I find all that fascinating. The gimmick of it all I love. So yeah, I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Late Night with the Devil, if that was unclear.
Oh,
I would have voted
man.
for that too.
Man, fuck. I'm looking at the next one. God damn you! Who made this list?
Oh, actually, this next one is really good. We've got Leslie Vernon. I don't remember the entire name of that.
Behind the
movie.
Mask.
There you go. Behind the Mask, the story of
The Rise of Leslie Vernon.
There it is. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Versus Creep. Man, these seem like
Motherfucker.
two that should be going up at it at the very end. But
Yeah, can we do that? Can we switch? Cause like come on, like these are two
That's a
they're
tournament,
heavy
man.
hitters.
two
but,
different.
are they? Are they that different? I feel
No,
like they're
not.
kind of the
Fuck,
same.
Fuck you, Philip. No, god damn it.
All right, let's put them up against each other. All right,
All right, so
let's start with Derek,
okay.
and then we'll go to Pedro.
Okay, I love both these films. I think I was one who put up Behind the Mask. It is a movie that has fascinated me ever since I saw it. It's one that I
Yeah.
try and show as many people as I can,
It's really
because if you don't know what it is going into it, it's almost unexplainable. Of like, I'm sorry, what is this documentary about? What are they trying to achieve here? And the way that they kind of dole out that information, I love meta shit. I love any sort of meta entertainment when it comes to that. So the layers upon layers of like actors who are in this, horror actors and icons, cameos, references to other slashers, the fact that this, like, with a throwaway line in Hatchet 2 exists in the same universe as the Hatchet films. Like, I love Behind the Mask of Rise of Leslie Vernon. There's nothing else out there like it in the course of, like, as close as you can get to kind of the humor and horror aspects of it, of like The Cabin in the Woods, maybe Tucker and Dale versus Evil, but like it's its own little special thing here. It's a very cool mask and villain that we haven't seen before. And then you have Creep, and Creep is another fascinating one, which I think is it is a bizarre little movie, man. Like what
sure.
they're doing, why you would hire someone to do what you're doing, I kind of understand. There's this documentary out there which I can only recommend if you want to be devastated, but it's a documentary called Dear Zachary.
I've seen it. It is
the
horrible, yeah.
saddest thing, especially you guys as parents. It is the saddest
watch
thing
it?
you will ever
Okay.
watch.
I don't want to watch it. Is it real?
Yes, it's real. This is
I don't want to watch it.
yeah,
I'm
Dear
good.
Zachary
I'm-
is an actual documentary. It is,
Yeah.
but it's so it's like it's a similar thing where it's like a father, a documentary is being made for a child from the perspective of the father, so that he has something to hold on to. And so that's, you know, in a weird
Does
way,
it-
that's what Creep is about.
Does the kid
Um,
have cancer or something? Because just to
the
So-
dad has cancer in
Oh,
that,
God
so it's
damn,
like
God
they know, and so it's like he's well, I don't want to give anything away from Dear Zachary. It is, I cannot recommend it to you, because it is the saddest thing, even as not a parent, even as someone who doesn't have nor want children. It is the saddest thing I have ever watched. And then when you
Okay.
think they've gotten to the sad part, there is an even sadder part that happens. So
Jesus Christ, man, you're killing me. All right. I don't.
Creep. We'll stick here.
Yeah,
I just wanted to make the comparison because it's a similar sort of like video diary to give to their kid. And you have this like typically comedic actor who is then playing this bizarre role. And it's the question of how long, if you were in this situation, how long do you stick around? Because weirder and weirder things, whenever they're doing tubby time,
Oh my
it's like,
God.
okay.
Yeah.
And there's moments where like the videographer is like, he's gonna leave. He's like, I've had enough. And he says the exact right thing to kind of bring him back in. And Peach Fuzz as a entity, as a character, that mask is something so terrifying about the way he's pressed up against that wall whenever you see him there,
Mhm.
and you don't know what he's going to do next or where he's going to show up next. Man, I and then the final shot of this is just this perfect little payoff and completely unexpected. Just that long take
Yeah.
is phenomenal. This is tough. Oh, these are very different films to me in the way that they're showing, you know, what's happening here. I've seen Creep 2. I do enjoy it. I think it's a weaker film, but I do enjoy it for the most part. I have not touched the series that's on Shudder, I believe, for Creep, the Creep tapes.
Mhm.
Man, these are both that I recommend to people all the time. I'm trying to think of my rationale behind other things that I've already made because people are going to call me out on that. Creep or Leslie Vernon? I am going to go for better found footage. I'm going Creep. That's my vote.
Creep. All right.
Okay, so
All right, Pedro, send us.
good points by Derek all around. But at this now,
I'll be right back.
because both of them are really good films. I feel like, but at the same time, Leslie Vernon is so original. Like you said, there's no other movie like Behind the Mask. There just isn't. And it's so quotable, and you remember these great scenes. Like, for example, these are questions. If you're a horror fan, these are questions that you have about serial killer horror movies, right? Like how does Jason do it to where he could walk all day and not get tired, or Michael Myers or whatever. So I love the part where he's training, like he's actually running and he's winded and he's talking to the people that are doing the documentary. And I love how it very, very, like how it goes from like being a dark comedy to like an actual horror film in the third act. Like that
Yeah.
was a very
Yeah.
if it would have been a less competent filmmaker, he wouldn't have been able to get it done. And the way he just segs into that, because before you know it, you're in an actual horror film now. You're not even in the documentary anymore. And the ending's great because it plays on that trope of like, being in the ambulance and then getting up. Or I believe he does it he's already in the mortuary, right? Or something. I forget, but
He's in the morgue.
yeah, in the
He's
morgue.
in the
I'm sorry,
morgue,
in the
yeah.
morgue. So, but and I don't know why we never got a sequel to that. You would think it would
I know.
be tailor
I know
made.
why. They actually
Uh-huh.
tried to do that. They tried to do a Kickstarter, and it was going to be called Leslie Vernon Before the Mask. Like,
Oh, okay.
it was like back in 2012, 2011. They were trying to, and they didn't raise enough money to do it.
Oh man, but even like a studio or something, like that's a really good film. And then I don't know why that actor, we don't see him in more stuff, because that guy's very charismatic. The guy that plays Leslie Vernon.
Mhm.
I feel like we don't see him enough in other stuff. I don't think I've ever seen him in anything after that or before that.
I think he was
Um,
in like a cop show or something.
okay. And so just on the basis of that, on how original it is, again, this is not putting down Creep. Creep is an amazing film, but Creep is a film that's very structured, and it's what like you could find another Creep film somewhere else, maybe not as good, but you could find one. Whereas Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask, it's original. So I'm gonna go with Behind the Mask.
Ooh.
And then Narelden, you go next.
Man, these are some great points. Um, I love the originality of Leslie Vernon, and Creep is a great film, right? I think it's kind of how would I say it's got its own cult following, right? I hear folks talk about it all the time. It's on a lot of lists, right? That people always highly recommend. But if I were to pick, right, if I'm gonna go watch a found footage film, right, or something along those lines, right, I'm gonna put on Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask before I put on Creed. So I'm putting watchability or rewatchability way high up on my list of criteria of what makes a good found footage film. Because a lot of these films, right, we're gonna watch it one time and we're not gonna watch it again. But I think the mockumentary style that exists within Leslie Vernon Behind the Mask, great
Be careful because
rewatchability.
Brian yelled at me when I used that rationale in previous films. So it's the best found footage film, not the most rewatchable. So
I all right, well,
go ahead, Jack.
you guys have convinced me. Leslie Vernon.
Okay. Brian?
I
Sorry,
love
guys.
the character Joseph. I've gotten to know him through 2 movies and a series, but I'm gonna have to go with the movie that is both the better found footage movie and the most rewatchable, Leslie Vernon.
All right, so Leslie Vernon moves on.
Yep. Philip.
All right. Leslie Vernon's moving on.
Yeah.
All right. Was that everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, guys. Had an emergency.
Take a shit. It's cool.
Yeah. All right. On to One Cut of the Dead and Ganjam Haunted
Ganjan.
Asylum. I probably
Yeah.
said that wrong.
Ganjan. I think it's Ganjan.
Ganjam. Okay. Narelden, you want to start us out on this one?
Man, it's gonna be another one of those rounds where man, I didn't have enough time to watch one of these films. So it's kind of like, oh,
Well, which one did you watch and didn't watch? Because that's where your vote's going.
I know, shoot, Haunted Asylum. I've seen that one. There's been a lot more like hype on it, so I was kind of more inclined to check that one out. I haven't seen One Cut of the Dead, so
Okay. I mean,
yeah.
I'll make mine fast. I think One Cut of the Dead has a lot of heart. I think it's a film that any aspiring filmmaker should watch just to get inspired by what they did. And that's the story it's trying to tell. It's not really a horror movie. It's not really even like found footage, but it's a very nice, warm film. I think it got a lot of hype because Joe Bob Briggs really hyped it up as well. Which is fine. It deserves it. I'm not hating on that. It was a really well done film, but I'm gonna have to go with Gungeon because that one is the actual found footage film, and it's the one it really works. And it has that kind of like that Grave Encounters vibe to it. Although I think it's a better made film.
Oh, I have seen this one. Yeah.
And so it's got its followers. People talk about it. So I'm gonna go with that one as well.
All right.
I was
Jack.
I don't like hyped movies, so I'm going with One Cut of the Dead. I saw that during COVID, and I was like, "Yo, this is kind of badass." But I'm
Yeah.
also a filmmaker, so I relate to it. So
It is the gimmick is that it's all in one shot, right? It's all
yeah,
one take.
yeah.
And then later on they show you how they did it, which is where it gets kind of cute. It's a good movie, and it's not long either. It's like an hour, so people need to track it down and watch it.
For sure.
All right. Derek.
One of these movies I put up, and one of these movies I had never seen until getting selected for this. But yeah, One Cut of the Dead, I agree, is kind of iffy on the found footage thing, but I did put it up because I too watched it a few years back, probably during COVID, and it is if you could pay money to wipe your memory and experience something for the first time, I would do it every other week for this film. I think that One Cut of the Dead, whenever like you go in thinking it's one thing, it changes up gears, and then it changes up gears again. And by the end of it, the payoff is it's like the greatest magic trick I've ever seen put on film. And it makes me so happy when those end credits start rolling. Um, that being said, I do agree. It's a little light on the horror. It's definitely light on the whole thing's not shot first person or found footage as far as I can remember from it, because they pull the curtain back a couple times. So that being said, Ganjin, or however you pronounce it, if you've listened to my show at all, Third Channel Podcast, you know I cannot pronounce mostly people's names, but this falls into that. Haunted Asylum, loved it. Very much of the Grave Encounters thing, which obviously I also, like you've heard, love. I like these characters a lot. I think they felt very real, felt very like the fact that some of them are in on it and some of them aren't. I think it's interesting dynamics. And the different angles that you get to see of them setting up the cameras inside, but then also wearing the cameras, both seeing their point of view and their reactions. I think is an interesting take, and it's something that we see in like a lot of reality stuff now, and so they're just taking that one step, further, that Grave Encounters didn't at the time, maybe. And I think there are some truly kind of horrific images in this, things that I wish had been used more, which is like on that the up close pictures of their face, things being like right up behind them. You get that toward the end of the film, that I think that is absolutely terrifying, of like there's something that close to you and you're just in the dark and you can't do anything about it, or you don't know that it's there, because my eyes are constantly scanning the background of any of those shots to see, it's like, is there something that they don't realize is following them? But yeah, I think it's fantastic, so I'm going with Gonjim, Haunted Asylum.
Okay. Wow. Left turn there. Brian?
One Cut of the Dead is an excellent movie, but I think Gunjam is more what we're talking about as far as found footage. And I'm always a sucker for a movie where a group of people are going into some place they don't belong. So, Gunjam.
All right. Gunjam. All right. Next week we got our next up we got Willow Creek and Skew. Brian, you want to start us out on those?
Unfortunately, I have not seen Skew, so I'm gonna have to go with Willow Creek.
Willow Creek. All right.
Is this the Bobcat one?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Willow
No.
Creek is the Bobcat.
Yeah,
I'm
Bobcat
thinking of
Goldthwait.
Exist.
I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So this came out the same time as Exist. So this was like the knockoff of Exist.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was with
Oh.
Eduardo, right? He directed that
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I love that one. That's a great film, by the way. If people have never seen it, it's very underrated. Nobody talks about it, but it's a very good film.
Which
And
one?
it really asks the question, what would you do if you found an alien? And that's pretty much the basis of the movie, because people are trying to figure out. But anyways,
What movie
yeah,
you talking about?
Exist.
Exist. Okay.
Yes. But as far as Skew and Willow Creek, yeah, Skew's a very small film. It came out maybe like 12, 13 years ago. Very hard to find, but it's very it kind of stays with you. It's very eerie. It's very rewatchable because you're kind of trying to solve a mystery with the characters. Um, so I'm gonna go with that one, because what I remember about Willow Creek was that there is this scene when they're in their tent that goes on forever, and I'm like, bro, like, just, I know you got no money, but geez, try to be a little more original here, like, yeah, there's like maybe like 14, 15-minute scene in the tent where the two actors are just performing off of each other, and that kind of, it's kind of a little boring to me. It did trip me out that Bobcat Goldsmith of all people directed this movie. But I'm gonna go with Skew on this one.
That one. I forgot about him. All right. Jack, what do you think?
Willow Creek sucks dick. Go for Skew.
Skew. Nerelden?
I'm gonna have to go with Willow Creek as well.
Willow Creek as well.
So we got 2-2 right now. Is that what's happening?
2-2.
Okay.
All right. What do you think,
Wow.
Derek?
Okay, so it leaves it up to me, and I don't really care for either of these films. Willow Creek, I had originally watched, according to my letterbox, back in 2014. I didn't care for it then. I rewatched it this week. I don't care for it anymore this time. It's the setup is very similar to Blair Witch, and then they just don't do enough with it. And as somebody who like I, especially growing up, I was very much into cryptids and paranormal stuff like that. So it's like Bigfoot and Sasquatch and all that is interesting to me. And I'm fine with a clearly. I love Blair Witch. I love movies that can do enough to make me afraid or make me believe in the thing that they're doing without showing it to me. But they don't show you enough in this movie to make it worth it to me. Skew, I had never heard of. I watched it for the first time for this, and found it on Tubi. And it's another one where it's like, yeah, it's a mystery that's being kind of doled out, and it's got some interesting ideas. But my problem with it is like it's ideas that I've seen kind of before. I mean, there's a Twilight Zone episode from the original series that's about a camera that shows people's future. There's a Goosebumps book, Say Cheese and Die, where it has a similar sort of thing. Even like what's the oh my god, my brain is just, what is the series that people cheat death and then they die over and over? Final Destination 3 kind of plays with this in a way with the photographs. But
There's
I'm
like
still...
a legend of some artifact like that in the Vatican too. It's a tale as old as time.
But given the two, I would probably put on Skew again before I'll ever watch Willow Creek again. So Skew gets my vote.
All right.
Skew for the win. All right. We've got The Taking of Deborah Logan and Nez's favorite, Dash Cam.
I think let's put this on as a joke because Dashcam sucked. It has the most
annoying.
It has the most annoying person in the history of Earth. And I know she's supposed to be some sort of influencer, and she started saying that was the point, but we know that's not true. That she was just annoying. And it's kind of messed up because it was done by the guy that did Host. That was his follow-up. Yeah. So it kind of derailed his career a little bit as well. Yeah, that one sucks. The Taking of Deborah Logan is, in my opinion, it's an underrated classic. It's a great film. The third act is amazing once you find out what's really happening. So I'm gonna go. That's gets my vote.
All right, Taking of Deborah Logan, one shot. Derek. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean,
You're good. You're good. Because I was looking ahead to the next one because I'm like, well, this one's easy. I have seen Taking of Deborah Logan like way back when, and again, I didn't really care for this one. It makes a lot of people's lists. It makes a lot of people really seem to love it, and I don't know why it doesn't really click for me. But I gave it another shot watching it this week, and it's still like just didn't really work. The found footage stuff is good. The documentary stuff I think is good. They treat it very realistic. Like, we're coming in here to shoot this thing, to document this thing. And then weirder and weirder things happen. And, it goes where it does. And it has that third act reveal of all the craziness. And like, there is, the image and the GIF that's online that everybody sees. If you've never seen this movie, you've seen that image in the cave. And Dash Cam, I hadn't seen. I don't know if I'd really heard of it until getting asked to do this, and so I put it on, and it was one of the like most painfully annoying watches I've ever had. I don't think there's a lead character that I've ever wanted to die as quickly into a film as I did with this one. I think there's some interesting ideas going around in here, but like and I'm fine with there not being payoffs for a lot of things. Like, I'm fine with an open-ended movie and you can leave it to your interpretation or whatnot. But at one point, and I knew that this was not a long one, much like Host, this is a pretty short film. But at some point I paused it thinking, oh, well, these found footage movies kind of fit a pattern of like, we're going to ramp up and up and up and up and up. And then a big thing happens and then we're done. And I thought I was at the end, and I was hoping and pleading that I was at the end. And I happened to pause it, and I still had like 25 to 30 minutes left. And I thought I was going to lose my mind. They hadn't even made it to like the amusement park section yet. Um, I dash cam is awful. Taking a Deborah Logan any day of the week.
All right. Didn't even like it, but it still wins.
Exactly.
You already know what I'm gonna say. You already know what I'm gonna say. So
Taking of Deborah Logan. Yeah. All right. We didn't like dash cam. Brian?
Deborah Logan for the win.
Deborah Logan for the win.
Agreed.
All right, Deborah Logan. All right, we'll move on to Butterfly Kisses and Hell House LLC. Interesting pairing.
Jack wants to go first. Go ahead, Jack.
Jack, go ahead.
All right. So this is actually hits a little close to home for me. And I'll start it off like this. I hate seeing Butterfly Kisses in every top 10 fucking found footage list. It is so oversaturated. And especially Hill House. Hill House is oversaturated. Like they just should have stopped at 3 and let's
Or
just keep
maybe
it
at
that.
1, I think.
Nah, 3 is when they go down to hell, that was deep.
I saw that once. I need to revisit that one.
Watch them all 3 in a row. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah, this one wasn't bad.
So Butterfly Kisses, I was one of the first people to watch this film. I interviewed Eric Christopher Myers on our show, Found Footage Radio, at the time. And I was close to Eric because he was going through some heavy stuff with his son, like custody and all that stuff. I was in rehab. He was fighting to get his son. We were always talking, me checking up on him and everything else. And then it got leaked, or his obituary got released, that he had committed suicide and passed away. So it kind of touched me in a different way. When I have not watched Butterfly Kisses since before his passing. And it hurts because like I'm actually completely fucking jealous of him and what he accomplished with Butterfly Kisses.
Mhm.
But I mean that in a very respectful way, because he knew what he was doing. He had a genius idea, and he created something that is over fucking saturated in every goddamn list. Now it going up against Hell House, in which I absolutely love. A friend of mine, Dustin, who is now Dusty, I think he is a she. And I got fussed at for calling him bro when I was just messing with him. But he was in part 2. He's the guy with the glasses that has the girlfriend in part 2. So I'm very torn between these two. Fuck. Shit. I can't believe I started it out like that, and then now I got to go to this. I can't play favorites. I don't want to play favorites just because of his story.
Mhm.
Hell House scared the shit out of me. I couldn't watch it in the dark. I was working at a prison at the time at Angola in Louisiana, and we lived in the bunks, the little. It was fucking scary. I couldn't watch it. I had to turn it off. Hell House.
Hell
Right.
House. All right, one for Hell House.
Yeah.
Pedro.
Well, Jack, first of all, thanks for sharing that story. It was very hard to talk about. I know still probably. With all due respect to your late friend, Butterfly Kisses it's a great film. I think it's very meta. I enjoy the meta aspect of it. I believe I haven't seen it in about 10 years, but I believe the director from Blair Witch is in it as well, right? If I remember correctly, Eduardo.
Eduardo, yeah, he is. He makes a
Yeah, so
cameo.
that was kind of cool. And they're kind of ragging on him because he's trying to make this movie. He's like, no, so but it's a really good film. And when it comes to Hell House, like you said, when it first came out, I thought it took everybody by storm. I think it was also one of those COVID movies. Um, and everybody remembers the clown scene, which I think they've
Yeah.
kind of ran with that a little too much at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but everything about it was so like unnerving, because it's another one of those films where you're peeling at the onion, right? And you're getting to the core of it and you're starting to see what's really happening. The third act doesn't really work for me as much as other people, like the whole possession thing and how this whatever entity could leave the house all of a sudden. And but it's still a great film, so I'm gonna go with Hell House.
Okay. 2 for Hell House. Brian.
Even though I think it went on a little too long as far as the franchise, I'm gonna have to give it to Hell House. And I want to shout out Samantha Bean because she's the one that brought it to us originally,
That's true.
which led to us interviewing Stephen Cognetti, the director.
Also true.
Okay.
Hey, Brian, would you say they sold out after 3?
Yeah. And the last one, I think, was one of those movies I audibly said "fuck you" to the screen.
Yeah, I turned it off, dude, halfway. Like, I think it was when they were in the house and the clown killed like the girl and was gonna kill the guy or something. I turned the shit off. I was like, what the fuck is like this?
They were just producing content, like you said. They sold out. They were producing content. That's all
Yeah.
they're doing. It's not really about the stage. Just give us content. Here's the money, and that's what they got.
Yeah.
All right. Weldon.
Man, these are both excellent films. Oh, I love these. I do like Butterfly Kisses for the mockumentary aspect of it, right? I'm kind of a sucker for that as well too. I really do enjoy it.
Mhm.
But Hell House LLC, oh man, dude, I rarely squirm in films, but the tension sometimes that was created in that film, I'm like, dude, it's just hard to like stay on one shot for so long. Where I'm just like, right. So I'm gonna have to go with Hell House LLC.
Back. Yeah.
All right. Derek.
Not that it really matters, but I will. Yeah, these are another pairing that like one film that I saw originally back in like 2017, um, and it has like all these pieces that I absolutely love: found footage, haunted attractions, urban spelunking, that sort of shit. It just hasn't worked for me for some reason, and I haven't figured it out yet. I've not watched any of the rest of them. I probably will get around to 2 and 3 eventually, because I did rewatch it this week and I did like it a bit more. I think they do a good job. I think the setting is very interesting. I think the reason that they're documenting what they're doing is interesting. Um, I think their camera work is really well done through the majority of it. I think they do a good job of like hiding where their cuts are because there are some what seem to be very long takes that I can appreciate in this. Um, but yeah, the third act kind of falls apart for me a bit. Um, Now, Butterfly Kisses, I had never heard of this. I don't think ever. I don't know how it missed me somehow. But I will say this is like it's a fantastic Slender Man movie.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it is so much kind of doing that very, very well of creating this legend. It follows a similar pattern of like the Ring or It Follows or something like that, where it's like a thing that's going to follow you after you have now witnessed it. And I think that's very, very haunting. I think it does a good job of like setting up that you don't want to blink because it becomes closer to you. And then like so much of the footage is like you're just staring at darkened images. And so I watched it with my eyes as wide as I could, not wanting to blink to like miss anything in the frame, or like he's tiny in the background and you just see him for a flash and it's like, oh my God, there he is. So I'm just constantly scanning and not wanting to blink. So I mean, it's not for everybody and it doesn't really matter. But my vote's gonna go for Butterfly Kisses, even though it won't move on, but I'll stick with that.
All right. I appreciate it. All right. we'll move on to well, Hell House makes it through. Move on to The Conspiracy and The Last Exorcism. Okay.
Philip, did you write these and not know how to spell?
Did I spell something?
No, it's just like we see like the hard S and S.
Oh,
and-
that's because it's on top of the numbers.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I had to get them in there real good.
I was like, man, does he need some help with some?
Yeah,
some...
no, it looks bad. I am a giant child.
It's okay.
Norelden, you want to start us out on this one? Conspiracy and The Last Exorcism.
Oh, the conspiracy. Are we talking about Bill Schnoblin? The conspiracy? No, I'm just playing.
No.
It's Alex
actually,
They're turning the
Um,
freaking frogs gay.
oh my God. Between these two, actually, I haven't seen the conspiracy, so I'm gonna have to go with the Last
What?
Exorcist. Yeah, I know.
Oh,
Uh,
You
it's
get
the-
only one get out of jail free card, and you already used
Dude,
it.
you already
I got
used
two-
it, dude. Like,
I have two kids. Look, I have two kids.
I got
and
3, bro. Next,
Look, 2 and 4. They're toddlers. Okay, they're toddlers. and they need a lot of
11,
my attention.
8, and 4.
I'll allow it.
Yeah, the
dude,
whole
you're-
gamut right there. 11,
God
8.
dang,
Right?
okay.
I got. No, I'm
Um,
just messing with you.
No, yeah. Yeah, the Last Exorcist for that same reason.
All right, Last Exorcism. Brian, what do you think?
I'm gonna second Norelden by saying I also have not seen The Conspiracy,
What?
What the fuck?
but my excuse is not kids. I have not had internet for the
Oh,
past
okay.
week.
All right. There you go. You're good.
No, that's
All right,
fair.
you get the pass. You
He
get the
lives in
pass.
Alaska, so whatever you
Great
might
White
think of
North.
Alaska, that's why he does, that's what's going on.
We have to,
Stop doing all them Eskimo kisses and watch some movies.
we have to take the internet as we get it.
Jack, what do you think?
All right, I saw The Last Exorcism in theaters, and I saw Conspiracy on Tubi, I believe. I liked The Last Exorcism, but the sequel ruined it. If it's the same one I'm thinking of, right? It does have a sequel, right?
Yes,
With
it does.
a girl and a
And it
2.
sucks.
That
Yeah,
it's not the
it
last exorcism.
sucks. What was that?
It confirms that it's not the last exorcism.
Correct.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucked donkey dick.
It's like calling yourself the Lone Rangers and Airheads. It's like it's an oxymoron. You can't have the Last Exorcism or the Lone Rangers.
Right. I'm going with the Conspiracy because I love the story and I got fucking paranoid after watching it.
I like it. All right.
Oh, and Derek, you with all your explanations, you don't have to watch my films. It's okay. I don't mind if you don't watch them.
I'll get around to them. I get around to most things.
Shit.
2-1. Last Exorcism over The Conspiracy. Pedro.
I'm gonna go with the Conspiracy as well. I think it's
What?
I don't want to say it's an original take, but it's something that's not really tackled. Essentially, for the people that don't know what it is, I won't give it away, but it's about this group of people that are like looking into like some sort of cabal with the government, and things get a little too close to the fire, and then shit happens.
I'm too close is putting it lightly. They
They walk in there, just put it that way. And so Last Exorcism, the second one is dog shit, but the first one's not too bad. I like the idea because we really haven't seen a story. That's the one that has the Carney guy, right? That he has the fake things. Is that am I thinking of the
I think it's the Louisiana when they drive up in Louisiana to and
but he's
they're
the
really
guy that does the
religious.
fake exorcisms, all right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's faking it the whole time, and then
I-
it becomes real. Yeah.
I like that scene where he's showing all his gadgets to the camera. He's got that little cross with the smoke coming out. He's like, "Oh, I use this here," and he's got all the fake stuff. But yeah, like we find out that then he has to deal with a real exorcism
Yeah.
that he wasn't aware of. So that's pretty fun. And I think Eli Roth produced that film. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with
Wait,
the
what?
Conspiracy.
Wait, Derek, you okay? Is your internet messing up, buddy?
I think I'm good now. Everybody just froze for a second. I was like, oh no, I'm missing things.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, well, we're tied up.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
Conspiracy
oh,
and The Last
great.
Exorcism.
Oh, man. And I've seen both of these. I saw Last Exorcism in theaters. I think I rewatched it before the part 2. part two, like you said, is awful. I do like what they do in Last Exorcism, the kind of peeling back the curtain of like, this is a priest who does these exorcisms, and kind of revealing his little tricks and tools that he uses, I think is very interesting. And then how he kind of regains his faith through the events of this movie.
Yeah.
And it kind of twists and turns on like what's really going on, who the good guys are, who the bad guys are, that sort of thing. I find interesting. The Conspiracy is another one. I had seen the poster on all sorts of streaming places, but I had never watched it until now, and I really enjoyed it. They lean heavy into the like, this is a documentary off the top of this thing, and
Yeah.
then bad things happen, and they get in too deep, they get in over their heads, and watching this in now times
Yeah.
post, like with all the Epstein stuff, and like it's all about secret societies and rich people doing terrible things to people. Man, this one hits close to home. The ending gets a little silly, and a little run aroundy, but that's how most of these do, because Last Exorcism, you could say the same thing. And this is really just kind of a coin flip.
Don't you
What is
do
it
it? Don't
going
you
up
do it? Don't
against?
you do it?
One way or the other. Last Exorcism,
Last Exorcism.
for no reason.
Pedro, yeah, no, bro, I'm sorry.
We couldn't do it. We couldn't do it.
Come on,
We sold it as much as we possibly
Yeah,
could.
there-
but
there is a real video of Alex Jones sneaking into Bohemian Grove, and I'm pretty sure that's what this is based on.
yeah, that's a classic video. Yeah, I've seen it. But
So,
there is a scene similar to that.
Oh, I was explaining to Lance in chat, or and when he first started messaging me about my films, the original cut of Paranoia tapes, the first one, started out showing people what found footage is, like kind of explaining it, and in the opening we show actual footage of Bohemian Grove and all the chanting and stuff. Needless to say, Amazon took it off. So you really cannot find the very first film, the first cut of this film. I don't believe anywhere. I think maybe on Found TV, the first one, the first cut of it is there, but it really kind of began to circulate that like we took it down. I mean, they got taken down because we called out the Illuminati and the Cabal and stuff like that. So
Which
That's-
is looking a whole lot more real lately.
yeah.
All right. Last Exorcism wins it. We'll move on to Devil's Pass and Host.
Okay, I'll go first on this one, short and sweet. Host kind of took over the COVID era for a while there. It was a big thing. It's a great film. It's only like 50 minutes long. There's a lot of great scares in it. There's one in particular with like a mask that shows up that's pretty cool. I'm gonna go with Host.
Okay. One for Host. Brian.
Yeah, I'm agree with Pedro. It's Host. I love Devil's Pass, but I think the Host just hit at the right time.
Okay. Nerelden.
I'm gonna have to go with Host as well too. It'd be like literally like if something were to happen right now, as what we're doing right now, and just shit just starts going haywire, talking about
Yeah,
fast footage
there you go,
films and
Jack.
shit. That's literally the plot that we're doing right now. They're
That's
doing
fair.
during the COVID time. So I'm going
And
with Host.
I feel like a lot of them started popping up afterwards, right? There's a
Yeah,
bunch of
yeah,
them
yeah.
now with the same storyline.
Derek.
Devil's Pass is one that I don't know if I put it up on here, but it's one that I do enjoy. I watched it a long time ago, and I dug it then. I still dig it now. What's funny is like it kind of deals a little bit with the like cover-ups, the government cover-ups of things happening, and what's really buried out there in the snow in this case. This is one of those that I find the actual case very fascinating. I had read about it online before I saw this movie, and so whenever I found a movie that's like, oh yeah, we're exploring that, I'm like, oh, I'm in. And then it does things that I love. It does that loop, and
Yeah.
in this case, it's a time loop as well. And I love me some time travel.
Yep.
So you put a time loop in there, and it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy and sort of thing. Not to give too much away, but I really dig that sort of storytelling. But that being said, Host is just it kind of reinvented the genre again, man, and it came at the exact right time. It is in this nice little bite size, it does not overstay its welcome. Honestly, it could have gone on for another like 15-20 minutes. I would have been perfectly fine. My biggest gripe with it is people walking around holding their laptops backwards to face forward so you see what they're seeing. But it's like no one carries a laptop around like that. That doesn't make any sense. But that is the most minor of nitpicks. I think there's some good scares in there. Host gets my vote.
All right. Jack. Host or Devil's Pet? I like it.
For my new film, this is the mask I designed for the new killer.
Yeah, I was gonna
Oh.
say I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool.
I don't hate it.
Thank you. As long as this guy approves, then I think I will be okay. Yeah, host.
Okay.
Host.
Yeah, that's pretty
Oh,
cool little
host
mask.
takes it clean sweep.
Damn, look at that.
I know. That's not what I would have voted for. I love the Devil's Pass though.
Yeah, so this is the killer of the movie I'm currently writing.
It looks good.
Thank you.
That totally works.
So I think it might be. I haven't decided if it's gonna. I haven't decided where it's gonna go. If it's gonna be like the first Scream but found footage slasher. I think that's where I'm
Oh.
going with it. Try to do something brand new. And I think another film recently tried to do that, but I don't want to watch that film just so I don't get any ideas from that film,
Mm-hmm. That's always the right way to go about it. Yeah.
Like a Scream copycat, a meta. I like it.
Well,
can do
it's
that.
called redundant. I call it redundant at the moment. Redundant.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
All
Good
right.
looking
Cool,
mask,
man.
though. I like it.
thank you.
All
Oh,
right.
by the way, the link in the chat, don't share it, but save it to your bookmarks. There is over 5,000 movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Over.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And so most of them are separated by genres, but at a certain point last year, I just said fuck it, and I just put the month, like
Yeah.
2025, what I put downloaded, and you'll see. So if you have any
that's awesome,
requests,
man.
Facebook me, you know, in the group chat what you want.
All right.
Okay.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right.
And there's some rare. Oh, sorry, rare
No,
work
go
prints.
ahead.
Very rare work prints in there as well. Halloween Homecoming, Halloween, the work print for part 6, which is they call it the director's cut, but it's actually but it's the first one before they made it that. And then Halloween H2O as well in there, rare work prints. And I upscaled a lot of them.
All right. Yeah, that
That's
Halloween
good
H2O work
stuff.
print sounds interesting.
And there you go. You're welcome.
All right,
Well,
so the
Derek-
second round ought to go a little bit faster. I know that took
Yeah.
a while because we were going through all the movies for the first time.
Yeah, no, the second round, it's all just gonna get yay or nays from me because I already looked at it and it's
All right.
pretty.
So we got The Bay versus Savage Land. Pedro, you want to start us out?
I'm gonna go with the Bay.
The Bay. Jack?
Bay.
Brian?
The Bay.
Ooh, all right. Norelden?
Looking like a clean sweep, the Bay.
All right. Derek?
Well, I'm not going to stop this clean sweep. The Bay.
The Bay. The Bay wins.
The Bay.
The Bears.
The Bears, yeah. If you don't get that reference, you're kind of young.
Deadstream and Blair Witch.
Oh,
This is a little more difficult, but I'm not gonna spit on a classic. I'm gonna go with the Blair Witch. I just can't. But Deadstream's a really good movie. It's fun, but I'm gonna stick with the Blair Witch.
facts.
Okay. Brian.
Deadstream.
Knew it.
Damn.
Jack.
Blair Witch.
And Eldon.
I'm gonna follow Brian's lead. I'm gonna go Deadstream.
Oh,
That's
Uh-oh.
right.
Damn it. God damn it. God damn it. We already know where it's going.
Derek, what do you think?
And anytime I listen to these episodes, I find myself agreeing with Brian more so than not. Except in this one, I have to go the Blair Witch Project.
Okay.
Oh, we got him, Pedro.
I thought we were gonna see a crazy upset right now. I was like, holy
Ooh.
shit.
I love both of them, but man, Deadstream is so good.
Derek should be a writer. I like the suspense, and then he just twisted it.
Yeah.
Man, the next one is also very difficult. God damn it.
All right, Wreck
Fuck.
and Cloverfield. Pedro.
Oh fuck.
Man, they're both great films. Fuck. See, this is the first fuck for me. I hadn't really encountered this until right now. God damn it.
Think of the American remakes, maybe.
No, I'm gonna have to go with Cloverfield. Cloverfield's awesome. So I'm gonna go with Cloverfield.
Cloverfield over Wreck. Brian.
I love them both. They're great representations of found footage, but I'm gonna have to go with Cloverfield.
All right. Jack.
I originally saw Cloverfield on bootleg when I was deployed to Kuwait, and I hated it. So I'm gonna go off that first viewing. Wreck.
Oh shit. That took about 3-4 turns right there. What you just said right now. I don't know where
come
you
back.
were going with it. And
Yeah.
okay, so you're going with Wreck. Okay, cool.
Nerelden.
I'm also go with Wreck as well.
And we got us a
Derek.
match. We got us a match. Okay.
Derek goes first
Oh
next
my
time.
God. What are you guys leaving me with here? Oh my God. Because like I said before, I watched Rec for the first time leading up into this, and I really, really liked it a lot. But Cloverfield, man, like it is a movie where, like, I still have a folder on a hard drive somewhere that is just like concept art of what the monster could have looked like before the movie came out. Pedro, you're a big fan, so you'll know the whale image that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
I have where people have drawn maps of like Manhattan and like where they were at any given time and where the track that the creature walked. I have heavily debated putting down thousands of dollars on one of those very rare, hard to find Clovey statue action figures. I have to
don't
go
like it that
Cloverfield.
much.
I'm sorry. I have to go Cloverfield.
All right.
All right.
Or-
Cloverfield takes it.
What's the next match?
As above,
Oh.
so below, and VHS.
All right, Derek will go first this time.
Yeah, Derek, go.
Let's take some of the stress off of you this time.
Yes, this one is actually pretty easy for me. As above, so below. Because I don't really care for that first VHS film. My biggest thing, especially with this rewatch, has been so much of VHS, and I can't speak for 2 and 3 because I haven't watched them in a long time. But that first VHS, so much of it is so sleazy to me. I don't know why every man in this movie that is holding the camera is the first thing they say is just like, "Hey, show me your tits. Show me your tits." And they're like, "Well, no, I don't want to do that." And it's just like,
Stop trying
yeah, but
to
just
ruin the movie, man.
just do it on the camera. And so it's very sleazy to me, and the cool moments don't outweigh that. I think that series gets better as it goes along. So as above, so below gets my vote.
All right. Nerelden.
Man, I'm gonna have to go with As Above, So Below. I think it just resonates with me more. And kind of like found footage films, same thing with anthology films, you right? If you have one segment that you really don't like or one vignette, it kind of throws the whole movie sideways. So I'm going with As Above, So Below. But I'm not saying that that's what I experienced with VHS. I'm just saying other anthology films.
I was
the
gonna
case.
say, which VHS vignette didn't you like?
Yeah, no. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying in anthology films, that's the case. But I'm going with it as above, so below.
Okay.
Jack.
VHS.
VHS. Pedro.
VHS, man, is a definition of comfort food for me. I
All
could throw it on and
right.
watch it, and it's a very well made film. So VHS.
Leaving it to Brian.
Oh, here we go.
VHS.
There you
Woo!
go.
Oh,
Boom.
come from
Wait, but that means
behind.
it's going against.
Cloverfield.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we good. We good. We good.
Well, that's the whole
Oh.
point. As we get into the nitty gritty, things are gonna get interesting.
All right, we'll go to the other side first. We got Late Night with the Devil versus Leslie Vernon. Ooh, that's tough.
I'll go with Leslie Vernon. I love Late Night with the Devil. Again, say it again. Leslie Vernon, I could watch it 1,000 times. Very original, very well made. Late Night with the Devil kind of, I don't know if you guys agree with me on this. It loses something during the skeptic, when he takes the floor and he's working with the guy, the music guy or whatever, the orchestra leader. I get a little bored during that scene, that little stretch. Because there's a lot of questions that I have. Like, how is he doing that? Like, how is he hypnotizing the band leader? What's happening there? Like, I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me, that
Yeah.
part of the film, and it always loses me. So just on that alone, um,
And speaking of Bohemian Grove,
what about it?
Late Night with the Devil.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah, that's right, that's
a
right.
key part of the end of it.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of gaps in Leslie Vernon. It's almost
Yeah.
it's almost like a flawless film. So I'm gonna go with that one.
All right, Leslie Vernon. One vote for Leslie Vernon. Jack.
You know what, Pedro? You have persuaded me. Because I was gonna go with late night with the devil, but you're actually right. How are we seeing what the fuck he's seeing? That makes no
That's never made
sense.
sense to me, and nobody has ever explained that.
It's artistic freedom. So
No,
with
I
that,
get it. Yeah.
with your explanation, because I was going with late night with the devil, and then you said that, I'm like, fuck, he's right. So Leslie Vernon.
All right. Derek.
These are, I mean, I love both these movies. I think Late Night with the Devil, yeah, there are some gaps in logic there. There's some things that happen that don't really have enough explanation for me. Or, you know, what have you. Leslie Vernon, like you guys said, and whenever we were back, I know I'm the one who chose Creep during that, but after you guys went, it was like, oh, you all turned me back around. I was happy either way. If that one, either one went, I love both those movies, but like, you can't beat Leslie Vernon. It gets my vote. Behind the Mask,
Yeah.
baby.
All right. Norelden.
Oh yeah, I'm not stopping this avalanche. Leslie Vernon.
All right. Brian.
Leslie Vernon.
Leslie Vernon. That would have been my vote too. And I love Late Night with the Devil. All right. Ganjam and Skew.
There's another easy one, Ganjam.
Okay, Ganjam. Jack.
Skew.
Jack, you're up. Yeah.
Skew. All right.
No.
Brian.
Gunjam.
All right. Norelden.
I'm going with Ganjam.
Okay. And Derek.
And I'll keep it going with Ganjam.
Well, then I'm the asshole.
Hey, I've been that a
Man
couple times today.
It's okay. It's okay, buddy.
All right. And we've got The Taking of Deborah Logan and Hell House LLC.
Oh,
Derek.
As the person who doesn't totally gel with either of these films, I think I'm still going to go with Hell House over Deborah Logan, personally.
Okay. This will be an interesting one. Norelden.
I'm going with Hell House as well.
Hell House as well. Pedro.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make it a third for Hell House.
All right, you won it. Brian.
Deborah Logan.
Deborah Logan. I should have went with you next. Jack.
Hell House.
Hell House. All right, Hell House takes it. Okay, we got Last Exorcism and Host.
Wait, we already did host, didn't we?
Yeah, that was against Devil's Pass. That was the
Yeah,
first
Okay.
round.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
we're running through this, man.
Well,
So
yeah.
we're already
Okay.
back
Yeah,
at
that's
home.
what I was like.
Now it's like,
Second round rolls pretty quick. We're almost done now. It takes a
Yeah.
couple hours to get through the first few
Yeah.
movies, though. Pedro, Last Exorcism and Host.
I'm gonna go with Host. I don't know if that's recency bias too. I was thinking about that right now, but I don't know. I like Host better, so I'm gonna go with Host.
Narelden?
I got a bit of nostalgia for The Last Exorcism. It
Okay.
was one of the few movies I snuck into during my adolescence, and that's got a soft spot for me, right?
That
Does
counts
that
for something.
contribute anything to the film? No, it doesn't. But it's a soft spot.
All right. Derek?
Then we go. I'm gonna go
Oh.
with Host. I'm going with Host.
Changed it?
What the hell?
Yeah, I'm going with Host.
What just happened right now? All right.
All right. 2 for Host. Derek?
I think I'm going to, because I like both these movies, but one of them feels like things that I've seen elsewhere, and one of them was a new concept. Let's go Host.
All right. Brian?
Host.
And Jack?
exorcism.
Gotta be the odd man out. All right. Next round. We've got The Bay. It's still in it. And Blair Witch.
God damn you.
I'll go first. Let's keep the Blair Witch train running, brother. Let's throw it on the next round.
Well, that would
I'll,
make
I'll go
sense.
next. The Bay.
All right. 1-1. Narelden.
I'm going with the Bay as well.
The
Damn it.
Bay.
Here comes the upset.
Jack.
Derek.
Oh, it's Blair Witch all day for me. I love the Bay. I love the Bay. I think it's fun. It's fantastic, but it pales in comparison to Blair Witch.
All right, Jack, the deciding vote.
Man, this so it's like it's like the pants, the ass. or-
Remember 1999. That's all. Just
All right,
remember
Blair Witch.
1999. Oh, there you go. Okay, Blair Witch.
Blair Witch. Blair Witch wins it.
I want. Oh, I mean, yeah. I want the Blair Witch. Got it, but man, those pants, though, bruh. That
All right, we got Cloverfield versus VHS.
Fuck.
Pedro.
I'm gonna stick with Cloverfield. Let's go. Let's see Cloverfield take it. Let's see how far it gets.
Cloverfield. Jack.
VHS.
Sticking with VHS. Brian.
Okay.
Cloverfield.
All right. Narelden.
I'm going Clovey.
Cloverfield. And Derek.
It's Cloverfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now this next one's gonna be tough. Those two going up against each other.
I
Oh.
know. All right, we got Leslie Vernon and Ganjam. Jack.
Leslie.
Pedro.
Leslie Vernon.
Derek.
Oh, okay. I do like both of these movies. Ganjam was a new watch for me, but I really gelled with it. But I think with some of the rationale that I've used elsewhere, Leslie Vernon is too original and too. It is its own thing. There's nothing else like
It's
it.
different.
It's the best. Leslie Vernon.
Narelden.
It's been a sweep so far, right? With
Yeah.
Leslie Vernon, with me
Mhm.
included. All right. Sweet.
With you included. And Brian.
Leslie.
Leslie Vernon. Sweep. That's gonna be the big dog coming in, I think.
Well, we don't
Hell-
know that. We're starting to dwindle down.
Hell House and Host.
So this is a main event level matchup here.
Kind of is.
And more of the modern times, right? More of the
Yeah.
post-COVID found footage. Fuck.
But I mean, Hell House came before COVID. What
Really?
scared you first? Yeah,
2019?
Hell House was
Yeah.
like 2017.
Oh, 2017.
2016, I think.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
shit!
yeah,
It's already been
16,
10 years.
I know we're
Holy
old,
shit,
bro.
10 years.
I'm gonna go with Hell House because I've seen that one more. It's got the franchise thing going on, so I'm gonna go with Hell House.
Hey, Hell House over Host.
The original trilogy.
Hmm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stop at Lake of Fire or whatever it's called.
Brian,
Yeah.
Host.
Host. Jack,
Hell House.
Hell House. And Reldon.
I'm having a hard time with this one.
Yeah.
Host is just so original, like especially for its time, and it was so fitting. And Hell House is just Hell House is Hell House. Ah, fuck.
But I feel like I gotta punish the director for doing dash cam right afterwards. Call it whatever you want that I'm doing. I'm sure he had many offers. You know, Jack probably could speak to this. Like when a director has that kind of hit, right? Like Host on Shudder and it's worldwide and it's a big thing. There's options for that person, right, Jack? Right afterwards.
Yeah, you would get if you have a hit film like that, you would get offers to do all types of film. And
He
he
did the
probably did.
Boogeyman.
Oh, he did do the Boogeyman.
That was after dash cam.
He
But
made
that one
up
kind of
for it.
sucked too. If I remember.
He probably had a lot of options, but it was probably he probably went with like the cheapest one, the cheapest cheapest.
No,
thing
because
to
I
do.
think Dashcam was also his. So maybe he decided to do another one that he funded and whatever and raised the money for. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna punish him for that because that movie fucking sucked. So I'm still
So
sticking to
special
Hell House.
edition for Pedro of Dashcam Blu-ray extended
Minus the
scenes.
girl,
minus the
minus the lead actress. Figure out how you're gonna do that. But I want that. I want that version of the movie.
No freestyles for you?
Nah.
You know what? I'm going with Host. I'm going with Host.
Jesus, after all my whole soliloquy, and you went with Host.
I'm rewarding him for for a great film.
Okay.
Nothing afterwards. That doesn't exist.
Okay. So if my count is correct, then we are tied.
So
Oh,
Derek.
Great. One thing I want to say about dash cam, while we're on that subject, one of the funniest things, because the chat that goes up on the left hand side of the screen throughout the whole thing, I think is very realistic. If you've been in any sort of those sorts of streams, the way that people talk in that thing is great. There is one line that I saw that is like her like ex-boyfriend who she goes to hang out with or whatever, Stretch, I think is his name. There is one of those lines that says, what God would allow Stretch to exist? That is the funniest thing I've ever seen. It broke me. I don't know, in the middle of all that lunacy. But okay, so we have Hell House LLC, which is a film that I don't really gel with. Don't really love it.
Did you watch it with the lights out?
Yeah,
Nothing
yeah. It just, I don't know what it is, man. It has all the things that should work for me, and it just doesn't for me. I think a lot of it's very interesting. I think the horror aspects of like things moving around when they shouldn't be able to do that on their own. But that statue was over there and now it's not, and things like that. I think that is all very, very well done, very scary. Host, I think, is hugely original for its time, and it's gonna be the next course in this of like a bunch of copycats and things. But if I really break it down to like the heart of found footage as we tend to think of it, I think I have to strangely go for Hell House.
Okay.
Because I think it fits better into what I generally think of as found footage.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Hell House takes it.
So we're in the final four, right?
In the final four, here it goes.
And I gotta say, it's a good final four. I think this is anybody with any credibility that you would show them this.
Yeah,
Maybe it's a pretty damn good little final four here.
it is. I'm not mad at anybody that's in there. All right. So we go Blair Witch versus Cloverfield.
Cloverfield.
Wow. All right.
Man.
Well,
Fuck,
we knew
man.
Brian was going to choose Cloverfield. Man.
Let's
I
not
underestimated the level of hater.
Do I follow my heart or do I follow like logic and understanding and what it did for the time?
Your heart.
I'm gonna go with Cloverfield. Fuck.
All right.
Cloverfield.
We got two Cloverfields. Jack.
Damn it. No. I mean, they're.
You were having a
Cloverfield was-
hard time voting for Blair Witch in the previous round. I don't understand this.
Well, no, because it comes down to like found footage and like I have to think of like Cloverfield was the first fucking big monster found footage film, and it's
Right.
going against what what it came from.
Yeah,
You
Right.
know,
the first
the-
big found
this-
footage film.
Yes, so it's like, what? How do I weigh this?
Hey, that's the question.
If I had a choice to watch Blair Witch or Cloverfield, it would be Cloverfield.
Oh, all right. I underestimated you. Nerelden.
I'm going with Kobe again.
Bowie.
No, Relden, we did it.
I
Derek.
didn't think this.
Well, the reason I say it is because it's stuff actually, like throughout Cloverfield, it's entertaining. And I'm not saying Blair Witch isn't, but there's a lot of boring parts
Yeah.
in the film compared to the action. You got the drama, you got shit fucking blowing up. You don't know what's happening,
Yeah.
like you can find different things every time.
That's a good
No,
point.
I think it's valid, Jack. I think your criteria is valid. It's a difficult decision, no matter how you spin it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Derek.
I love both of these films. And I think I saw them, like the exact right times that I needed to for both of them. I was about the right age for both of them. And yeah, Blair Witch Project is incredible. It basically solidified, if not invented, this genre. And Cloverfield was kind of the first, like, I feel like it dialed it in 100%. Like it knew what it was. It was a bigger budget, at least. It did the viral marketing that Blair Witch did, but even bigger because you had the internet and you had all these other things that you had behind it.
Yeah.
I have a hard time, and people on our show, if you listen to Third Channel, you'll know I have a hard time ranking things a lot of times. I build a lot of lists on my Letterboxd, and a lot of times it's like, especially when you get kind of broad, it's like, well, how do you, like what you were saying, Jack? It's like, how do you put these two up against each other? How do you quantify that? There's not a way. And so it really does end up coming down. And my co-host PJ, he would say the same thing of like, it comes down to what would you want to put on right now?
Yeah.
And that answer is always going to be Cloverfield.
Yeah. The way I think of it too as well, it's like if you were to put on a movie that like if you want to fall asleep to so you can go to bed, it would be Blair Witch over Cloverfield, because Cloverfield's just like
yeah.
Blair Witch is
Good
just
point.
yeah.
It is kind of slow. It's great for a first watch. I don't know how rewatchable it is.
Yeah.
Making this decision right now makes me feel like Thomas Jane at the end of The Mist, where
Oh.
that's how I feel right now. I feel like I had to put one down and it hurt,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. But I gotta go with Cloverfield on this one.
I
All
don't think
right.
I've ever been in an intense like discussion of like my favorite films of all time.
I
Like
know.
I
Yeah.
don't want Ed and Dan to watch or listen to this and be like, oh well, fuck Jack. Like, no.
Yeah.
All right. Leslie Vernon versus Hell House.
Mother. Fuck.
That's a tough one.
I'll go
Brian,
last.
what do you think?
Well, it's easy for me. It's Leslie Vernon.
All right.
I will follow that up. It is also very easy for me. Hell House does not work for me. Leslie Vernon, every day of the week. Love it.
All right. We got two Leslies. Jack.
Kill your darlings.
Well, quick history fact, I was one of the first interviews with Kane Hodder and Robert Englund where Kane Hodder didn't wear his gloves. By the way. And then I got fussed at by their publicist because apparently during it I had called them old, like saying, "Oh, well, you guys scared my parents," and all this. I was okay, just a little backstory on it. I was giving them a compliment because 2 weeks prior, my grandma died, and a month prior, my best friend in the military was murdered. So me telling them that they were older was a compliment. So Leslie,
All right, I'll take
I
it.
know it was that was really dark. I didn't mean it to, but I'm just saying, like, yeah, sorry.
No, that makes sense. Let's see. Pedro, did you go?
No, but again, I'm thinking about what ended up becoming of How House LLC. That might not be fair, right? To punish the director from Host and think about the sellouts that the people from How House became. But this at this time of day, at this time of night, we're all burned out. I'm thinking about that shit. So I'm gonna go with Leslie Vernon. Because the people from How House, yeah, it's not even
They
the same
ruined
fucking
it.
movie anymore.
They ruined it. I mean, the Manor one was okay, but the last 20 minutes was okay. Was the like it really didn't
Yeah.
make any fucking
But that
sense.
narrative one they did last year, no.
Yeah, I turned that bitch off.
Narelden.
I'm going to be the lone Hell House LLC supporter, even though my vote doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I
It's
just,
okay. I've been
I
it
there.
think
just,
we all got a couple of those bullets in this tournament.
It's a
Where
it
our
good
just
vote
one.
works
didn't
for
matter.
me. And hey, I'll take that bullet this time.
But
Maybe not
I
next
did
time though.
I did write down Leslie Vernon before we even started to vote. So
Okay.
All right, we're
All
in the
right.
finals.
Finals, Leslie Vernon versus Cloverfield for best found footage horror movie. That is not what I would
That's
have
the final?
expected. Yeah, it is.
Me
Yeah.
neither. Damn.
Blair
Hey,
Witch got
you know
knocked
what?
out, man.
I'm having internet issues.
I'm going through a tunnel.
Yeah.
Brian, what do you think?
Hold on,
Cloverfield.
ChatGPT. Hold up.
Cloverfield over Leslie
Shit.
Vernon. All right. Narelden.
I'm going with Leslie.
Leslie.
Okay.
1-1. Got some lefts and rights. Derek. Let's see you thinking.
This is I'm looking literally like at my letterboxed. I'm looking at my list. I'm looking at all sorts of things and weighing a bunch of things. Why is like Scott Glosserman, director of Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon, like he hasn't really done a whole lot else.
Nobody in that movie has really, and that's a travesty.
Whereas like Matt Reeves is, I don't know if you guys love him as much as I do, but I like the grand majority of everything else he's worked on since then. I think his Planet of the Apes movies are incredible. I loved his take on the Batman. It's not as good as the original, obviously, but that should go without saying. I do enjoy his version of Let Me In.
Yeah.
It's, oh man, you've got JJ behind this one.
I think we know
What?
your
You want me to go?
answer.
You want me to go, Derek? While you think about it?
Yeah,
I can
maybe.
Okay. I didn't think of this, but it makes sense. The best found footage execution of a found footage film, Cloverfield.
Ah, shit.
All right.
Mind
We got two
blown.
Cloverfields. Hold it. Pedro.
Okay, so we got two Cloverfields so far? No.
We got two Cloverfields. We got one Leslie.
Okay. Yeah, very difficult decision here. Again, Leslie's originality goes without saying. We've never seen anything like that before or since, to be honest. If you're a horror aficionado like I am, it's made literally for me, all these questions that I've had over the years. Um, but then Cloverfield is kind of the same thing. There's a lot of originality there as well. Found footage monster movie. A lot of the mythology of it works with me. The characters, because we haven't even talked about the cast. It's got a good cast too. Um, except for like TJ Miller who got canceled and stuff. But
Introduce me to Lizzie Kaplan.
Lizzie Kaplan's amazing in that movie.
She's hottie.
And I think the
Jessica
ending,
Lucas, who was in Evil Dead.
that's right. I think the ending works. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Cloverfield on this one, but it's not an easy decision.
Cloverfield. Well, Derek, you were gonna vote for Cloverfield anyway, huh?
I think so.
Yeah.
I kept going back and forth because honestly, what it came down to originally in my head was this is the horror returns. Typically, I think we all are horror fans. And so I think is the slasher film more horror adjacent than the monster movie? Maybe so. But I think Jack makes a very compelling point of which is the better example, which is the best example of found footage. And I think that's Cloverfield.
Oh, Brian left. Is he all right?
Well, he was having internet issues. That's why he didn't have his camera on.
Okay.
Polar Bear got him.
Yeah, I mean, the execution of it all, like, I mean, let's be real. Leslie Vernon kind of seemed gimmicky when you break it down. It was very gimmicky, and they pulled a lot of tropes from that weren't necessarily original, even though they explained a lot. But Cloverfield had to invent new ways to film, give new reasons for things. How are you going to film a fucking, I don't know, 1,000-foot tall fucking kaiju in New York with a handy cam?
Yeah.
They had to invent certain things. The head rolling of the fucking Statue of Liberty in found footage, like that's fucking smart. However they did it, like I mean, I remember seeing like the blue screen and stuff, but like it everything about Cloverfield from the beginning of marketing was genius. And I still say they wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Blair Witch, though.
Yeah, and one last thing, I think also, I love how we haven't talked about how they use the old tape to record on this because they have the couple, I think they're in Coney Island, the couple's in Coney Island, and they're having a good time. So it's almost like the ending's kind of heartbreaking in a way because you're seeing this great moment with this couple, and then you see the satellite hitting the ocean at the end, and that's it. That's kind of the movie. So in that sense, it also works. And that's all character development stuff. So Cloverfield it is for me. I already said it, but I'm gonna say it again.
Yeah.
For the record, I would have voted Leslie Vernon.
All right.
You're not wrong.
But Cloverfield wins.
All right, so that is the 2026 Horror Returns tournament winner.
That's it. Fireworks, all that stuff. Cloverfield wins it all.
3.5 hours for that. I would have never, dude. Truthfully, I thought Blair Witch when I said, "Oh, this is."
I know.
Easy. I thought Blair Witch.
It was on its way, man. It was on its way, but we couldn't push it through.
It always does some shit like that, man. The Bride of Frankenstein was one of our
winners. I've never
on.
seen it. I'll be real with you. I've never seen that movie.
I
know.
I think I saw it once when I was like 9.
It's a good movie.
Wait, have you guys seen the new Bride? Which
I have. It's not. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
It tries to do way too many things. It tries to do way too many things, and it doesn't get anything right. I mean, it's still a very weird movie when you think about it.
Well, yeah.
But but the Bride of Frankenstein, the original, is pretty good.
Yeah,
I think it's better than Frankenstein, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it is voted on the top 10 sequels of all time. I think I forgot who did it, Mojo or Looper did it on YouTube. They did it a couple of weeks ago or last week.
Well, then I guess we're in good company.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, this was I truthfully, like, I go to bed around 7, 8.
Yeah.
Time it is my time. Like it's 10, almost 10:30. So this was I didn't think I would have and even being a found footage filmmaker, like I'm put in, like, because I know half the people on the list, like it's just
Right.
like I don't want to piss anybody off, but it's like my thing with found footage, and maybe it is because of the jealousy or whatever, but some of my films aren't the best, and you know what? I admit that. It's okay. And if Derek destroys all of them but one, I'm not gonna be mad and be like I'm blocking you, or anything. But what I'm getting at is just like I look at these films differently than I think the normal horror watcher or viewer would view them. And I think of the creativity and the time that, and one thing I also think about every single time, and it's a question as well as I ask, like, are you afraid? Like, you guys are horror fans. When you watch a horror movie, and it scares you, I why are you afraid of the movie? It's a deep question because it has a quick answer or a quick reply.
Usually because it like hits home.
Okay.
It's something that
Well,
like is
mhm.
really scary. I like those.
And you're absolutely right. But my thing is, don't be afraid of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Be afraid of the person that created that movie, that had that idea in their head and they put it on paper. I'm sorry, me and
Yeah,
Lee
where's
Wanell.
the Megan is missing guy? Do you know him?
Yeah.
Because I have words for that guy.
Yeah.
Bro, we gotta
No,
check that dude's computer.
yeah. I think he went to the Epstein Island probably. No, I don't know that guy. That's one person I don't know. Um, but if actually, I think I think, see, my account, my old account, by the way, it's Jack Hunter 2. That's my new account. Lance added my old account, but my other account that was verified and everything got hacked. I lost Instagram that I had since 2017. I lost an email that I had since 2010, and Facebook's that was my professional one where I had like 20,000 plus followers, and fuck hackers. But anyways, add me on that one. I don't know where the fuck was I going with that. Oh yeah, because on my old account, I can't even access my messages, and like I was friends with a lot, like I know a lot of famous people like
Yeah.
in the business, like Lynn Shay. I tell her, like, DM her every year, like for her birthday, and we chat every now and then. She's such a sweet woman.
Mhm.
But like all these people, I think I blocked them. Like this other podcast thought I blocked them. They're like, well, since you blocked these other two, do you still want us to release your episode? I'm like, hold up, I didn't block you. I
Mm.
promise. Like it was the most heartbreaking and cringe moment thing. I had to make a YouTube video on it, but I think I did message that guy, and I was like,
Mm.
dude, you inspired me to write my film Blamed, which is inspired by a true story. It's my daughter's story. Obviously, some things in there are exaggerated, and changed for legal purposes. But like I made Blamed literally to be a pseudo sequel to Megan is Missing. All the cast members that are part of it, they were like, Jack, like what can we do like for research? I'm like, go watch Megan is Missing, and what's that Ellen Page movie with the guy from The Conjuring and
Our
Insidious?
candy?
That one, yeah. Those two. I
Yeah.
told him to watch those two films to get a taste of what to expect. And Blamed is a very slow burner, and you're gonna ask yourself like, well, why are they still there? Why would they, like,
Mm.
why wouldn't they just get up or whatever? But my thing is, when you're in that situation, how would you really feel? I wanted to put the audience there, to find out the story, because there's a lot of twists and turns. It's dialogue heavy, but I think it does have a good payoff. Better, more so than Megan is Missing, and it's the first sex trafficking and sexual abuse awareness horror film, and we've been toted that we created a new subgenre of found footage called reality horror, because this is something that isn't found. The
Mm.
character within it wants it to be seen, and it literally could happen. Like it's just like Megan is Missing. That can happen. this can happen too.
Right. Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant or a tangent right there. My bad.
Oh, no worries. Well, I think that's it. I mean, I think we got it going. You guys want to let us know where we can find you, Jack? You can start us off.
Yeah, Ghostface Studio Productions on YouTube. I do several shows on my channel. I talk about slasher films. I'm a very huge physical media guy. I have a show called Let's Get Physical, and it's basically me going to thrift stores and showing you guys and everyone else out there what I find. And I find some damn good deals. I don't know about you guys, but I rather hold the film than have it digitally because, what happens when the internet goes out? What happens
That's
when you
true.
don't pay your Netflix bill? Well, I got 3,000 movies and yet I still can't find nothing to watch. But that's what, that's what happens. So, yeah, find me on there. And if you like music, type in my name on iTunes, Jack Hunter, and also my group on iTunes called My Vinyl Asylum. We just did a release of a song called The Red Pill. New music video is out on YouTube as well. So, yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Derek, where can we find you?
First of all, I just want to thank you guys for having me on. This has been so much fun. I'm going to follow everybody who's here and friend you guys if I haven't already.
Absolutely
But
appreciate you, man.
I am Derek Rosenberg. You can find me online at that D Rosenberg, pretty much everywhere. But I am co-host of the Third Channel podcast. And like Lance said off the top, we are a podcast that covers horror franchises, basically one film at a time, typically, from the perspectives of a lifelong horror hound, which is me, and my co-host, PJ the Mummy online. He is someone who has only gotten into the horror the horror genre in the last like 2 to 3 years, where it was not his thing. So it's the differing perspectives of someone who's been watching and rewatching these things for so long, and somebody who's just kind of getting into the whole thing. But you can find us Third Channel podcast on Apple iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music. Pretty much every podcast app you can find out there, we're going to be there. Follow our socials at Third Channel Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, YouTube, or at Third Channel Pod. That's on Blue Sky, Twitter, and our Letterboxd. But yeah, we've been at this thing for like a little over or just under a year and a half now, and we've covered a ton of different franchises in that first year. A couple of one-offs here and there. We typically do like a little palate cleanser episode between franchises, something that kind of typically either fits thematically or hits for like we did My Bloody Valentine because it hit on the Friday the 13th before Valentine's Day last month. So yeah, we go out sometimes and we do some other stuff. We're big Halloween Horror Nights fans at Universal because we live here in Florida. And so we go out to the haunts a lot of times. Lance will hopefully link up with you next year. If not, maybe Sir Henry's at some point. If you've ever hit that one's a fun local haunt. But yeah, thank you guys. And hopefully I'm very happy with how this turned out. And I didn't see it exactly coming down this way, but here we are.
All right. Well, man, appreciate
right.
you joining us. Norelden, where can we find you?
You can find me on the internet. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy that enjoys the show. I have nothing to promote. Although I am very honored that y'all selected found footage as this year's March Madness. So I appreciate the effort, the organization, and it was a pleasure to be here with everyone. I'll be following everyone as well, adding y'all and kind of touching base and linking up. And that's it for me.
All right. Pedro?
Yeah, you know me. I'm always around. I'll be here
Always around.
soon enough. I'll be back soon enough with you guys.
All right, Brian, where can they find us?
Everywhere, especially at thehorrorreturns.com.
That's the place. With the t-shirts and junk. They're awesome. Check
I
it
need
out.
a t-shirt, guys. Okay, I need to support you guys in some of my videos. I need.
Oh, Lance will
guys-
probably send you one, man.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am definitely going to hop on the one of the current designs. I feel like the last episode I listened to, you guys were kind of like, let's not mention it by name in case it gets taken down. But there is a specific movie that Lance and I both love. It's the third entry in a slasher franchise that doesn't fit in with the rest of the slasher franchise.
It is
So you
great.
guys have a design that I absolutely love. That's actually where we get our name. The Third Channel podcast comes from Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
Nice. Yeah, we've got a nice spoof T-shirt on the website if you guys want to check it out. It is it's pretty awesome design. All those come from Steve from the Geeks, so go check them out. He couldn't be with us
glad
today.
That Steve wasn't able to make it, so I could be here tonight.
Well, yeah, really, man, we appreciate you showing up.
It's been a pleasure, and like it really has been a blast, and you know, I love talking to other horror fans and getting their perspective, and you know, being looked at normal.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose that's it for the Horror Returns tonight. I appreciate all you guys showing up. I know it was kind of a marathon, but I had a good time. So until the Horror Returns again, good night.
All right, so it stops recording.